a difference and text CAR to 900 to win a car with Gamcell. Gamcell and Rotary Club of Bruceby brings you a chance to win a brand new SUV Corando. The more you text, the more chances you win. Join Gamcell today for your chance to win a car, fridge freezers, televisions, smartphones, and lots of cash prizes. Draws will be held live on GRTS TV. Proceeds will be used to help the humanitarian activities of the Rotary Club of Bruceby in the Gambia. Every SMS costs $10. Your SMS could save someone's life. Join us and text CAR to 900 today. A brand new SUV Corando awaits you. Rotary, making a difference. Gamcell, Yai Borom.
In today's world, everything imaginable is on the internet, which is amazing. And to find anything, it is easy. But that's not the case for Lamin. His standard internet connection is frustratingly slow, unable to focus on important things in life. He can't stream a video or search anything. He is fed up with messages like address is not found, timeout connection, and Internet Explorer cannot find web page. That's when his friend Fatima introduces him to Gamtel. At Gamtel, we provide viable, cost-effective, and sustainable internet solutions to businesses and homes. With our nationwide fiber broadband connectivity through EcoOne Gambia project, you can now say goodbye to slow internet. We provide quality services, blazing speed, and amazing customer services. All these at affordable price. Be like Lamin and start using Gamtel broadband internet today. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
Sophie meew la bu sell te neex baax na ci halal ak mag yépp am na calcium, iron, protein ak vitamine yu bari. Sophie full cream powder milk la am na 20 gram, 200 gram ak 400 gram ku ko ñam dootu ko bàyyi. Sophie, proudly Gambian.
Universal Properties, the dynamic and most trusted agency in real estate and property management.
We are here to make housing affordable, accessible for every Gambian, despite their financial status.
What makes Universal outstanding in the market is our flexible payment plans.
We set standards in sales and letting of quality properties, mortgage, leasing, rentals, property valuation, construction, and many more.
All our sites are fitted with social amenities such as schools, water, electricity, playing ground, and a good road network. In Sukuta Phase 1 and 2, Jambanjeli, Sanyang, Brikama, Lamin Daranka, and Gunjur coming up soon.
Doing business with Universal Properties, it's a very wonderful experience.
Universal Properties, FIB House, Caraba Avenue.
For us, every day is a new opportunity to make sure our first impressions are always our best and to see possibilities on the horizon. To make our facilities and services more accessible and find freedom all around us. With a location proximity to active markets, with a liberal air transportation policy. That daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements, merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.
Moro mbijando bakandro ko ngalla janna kibaro moy kalka sola bagaso wafu ka fontelle ko sola enterprise fo fendi nabe dendi sola la fannala la sola la bundal ndella ko do kuwo ke mole janka sola joran kendo natala dum min nata na ko fanandiya birin Gambia jam fo Gambia e bantala nga bagasol samba beton ka do ku kendo be ke mobe ninga do ko ke momo ndi en ka sanji kilin garantie dilale nyin kama ko la do ko lanno si waran ni tema bagasi falle bagaso min bijay fofe nabe den sola la bundala la sola la fannala a bagaso sifa be bijay lightning and pumping system ndella fanan ko ke mole nimbe den ni na ko ni dandan ni kordal ka diodi alla nin ka lampo fanan se ka diala wo pompin wolbe den nin gadinol nin ku kotal ni la jiko ni la fanga bela lightning wolom dimbani ku kotal janna mu sola enterprise tin ko la kadi fama mu sola fo fembe den ni sola la hajo la janna be loro wato tenta bud baga solta adum fana be ku fula la leje bunda fula fana be mbulle fanga kabona ndami anin dula ba fula safonya America ni Europe na fanga kabona wolta dum doronno moto min ka fenkendol na te sola la baga sol kana te nyambanko kanya abanta baga solta ngata
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you apply for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
Do you want the best in office supplies? Do you want value for money? Then look no further. Vital Trading Limited is here for you. Vital Trading Limited is the best in town when it comes to office supplies and all your printing needs. We brand, rebrand, design and print logos, flyers, caps, pens, 3D signboards, neon signboards, envelopes, and many more. We also have bank coin counters, bank note counters, fire protect safes, just to name a few. At Vital Trading Limited, satisfaction is guaranteed and we deliver on time. Visit our office today on the Bertel Harding Highway opposite the GNPC petrol station. Better still, call us on 4498756, 4498962. Visit our website today, www.vitaltradinglimited.com. Want the best in all your office supplies and printing needs? Then come!
Can't do small or big projects with the same dedication and commitment as we do. With a reputation as the leading printing company in the country, when it comes to major projects and innovative solutions, we always deliver in high quality, thus receiving the trust and confidence of our clients. From the moment your order is placed to when it is delivered, we believe in exceeding expectations from the sales manager to the production team, the account manager, and the person delivering your material. We have state-of-the-art equipment and a highly experienced and competent workforce that enables us to deliver top quality work on time. At reasonable prices, we provide our clients with multiple solutions right from conceptualizing, designing, printing, binding, publishing, and distribution. For all your printing requirements, we are strategically located at the Sankumsila Highway, the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation. We print what you desire.
Tanal ma number yung may tanal mababi. Kani yo lima la jox ci xibaar yeb doy la. Jëlal ma number rek gowma la. Sëñ bi na nga def. Kii de dama ko jox xibaar gi ma dégg ci yéen. Waaw la toggee. Wax naa ko ne alxames bu nekk ak dimanche bu nekk
dañ tànn juróomi nomba si jackpot bi ku gagné juróomi nomba tegal nañ la 100,000 maanaam 2 junne ak lu teg waaw waaye juróomi nomba yi dafa war a méngoo su fekkee ne amoo juróomi nomba yu méngoo am nga 4 nomba yu méngoo yow dinañ la jox bonus foo du noonu la bonus foo waaw des na de altine bu jot talaata àllarba ak àjjuma ñu génne waat beneen jackpot ne ku gi am 4 nomba yu lëkkaloo ñu tegal la $50,000 maanaam juróom fukki junni waaye nag gis nga boo amee ñetta yu méngoo ñu jox la tam bonus 3 waaye nag xàmmee ko gis nga Gambia géem yi bari nañ de waaye gis nga bii green la xàmmee ko waaw xàmmee ko bu baax a baax feneen foo taxaw bu fii di nga perte
lu ma la wax yëpp dëgg la waaye xam nga lu ma lay xamal ma wax nga naan waaw dëgg la kay yow mi sa kanam guddi gi xam nga ne góoma la da ngeen may kompaloo man ngeen di kompaloo nañ dem ci office
xanaa nërmelu nga
ma ne nee naa nga lay laa wax
nee naa la ku ko mën la ku koy jéem duñu benn ak loto game ak ay bonus sama xéwalam yu bari fii rek la du feneen.
The Gambia Revenue Authority wishes to inform the general public that income earned from the letting or leasing of property is taxable as per the Income and Value Added Tax Act 2012. In this regard, the general public is hereby informed that payment of rental income tax is an obligation on any person who earns income from letting or leasing properties. All rental income earned from properties in the Gambia is subjected to rental income tax. There are 2 types of rental income tax. A residential rental income tax charged at the rate of 8% of gross rent received. Commercial rental income charged at the rate of 10% of gross rent received. It is important to note that failure to declare and pay rental income tax is illegal and punishable under the Income and Value Added Tax Act 2012. To pay your rental income tax, rush to the nearest GRA domestic tax office or any of GRA's designated banks. Remember to pay your taxes and on time. GRA, collecting revenue for national development.
Now that I have saved some money to build my dream home, I'm really confused about which estate company to approach. My friend had a bad experience with a particular estate agency after completing his payment and could not even get his title deed. This is serious.
Good afternoon. How are you? Thank you. My name is Oli. I'm from EJ Investments.
Understood.
Thank you.
You know, I must say you came at a very right time.
Really?
I was thinking about houses.
Right.
What can your company offer me?
EJ Investments can offer you a lot. We're unique in the market.
Okay.
We own our properties and we ensure that they're developed with modern technologies. They're affordable and they are strategic locations. We don't just sell pieces of land, but we create settlements.
What makes your company different from others?
We're different from all real estate companies in the Gambia because what we have to offer is affordability, safety, and security. We ensure that you get a legal contract from when you pay your deposit, and within 4 weeks of paying your final settlement, we make sure you receive your title deed.
4 weeks?
4 weeks.
That's interesting.
Yes. Now tell me, what real estate service you need?
It's absolutely EJ, investment, and real estate agent.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Kerr Fatou, having the Minister of Trade, Industry and Employment, Honorable Dr. Isatou Touray. Welcome to Kerr Fatou, Doctor.
Thank you.
Of course, Daddy, tonight we will be talking to Honorable Touray about the department, the Ministry of Trade. It's been 13 months since the new government took over. What has the ministry undertaken to make sure trade and employment is a priority for this government? I think this is going to be the discussion tonight on Kerr Fatou.
Thank you so much, Fatou. I think we've hosted quite a lot of dignitaries here, but for me, this portfolio, Ministry of Trade, probably is one of the most, apart from the Ministry of Finance, that's the most important in our economy. Why?
Yeah.
It's called Ministry of Trade, Unemployment and Industry.
Yeah.
We know that unemployment is one of Gambia's biggest problems. And why is it a problem?
Yeah.
The youth folk of this country make up a huge chunk of our population.
Yep.
They're unemployed and opportunities are far and few. And I think if we're to measure a success of any government, we should measure it based on social indices like education, health, and employment. Therefore, the work of this ministry is very important and hopes are high. The expectation of Gambians are high. Gambians are yearning for a better day, and better day starts with economic independence. And economic independence is anchored on people having self-reliance, which is employment. So therefore, it will be a great discussion, and I do hope that we will have data to support where we have been and where we are going. We don't expect too much as results today, but we do hope that they have the right things in place to change the fortunes of the average Gambian, which is the youth folk.
Well, thank you very much, Daddy. I think that is very, very important. In fact, youth employment have resulted to so many catastrophes. Of course, migration is one thing. When you talk about youth employment, that, you know, it brings to mind. But first and foremost, Honorable Minister, we want to welcome you to Kerr Fatou. And it's been 13 months since this new government took over. What have you been able to do since you took over?
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here and to join the other dignitaries that were before me to report the state of affairs of my ministry, and also to appreciate the fact that this is a best practice that is needed for every region, every ministry, to at least come out and sort of inform and educate the public about the affairs of the ministry and the progress so far. I'm very happy to answer this question, but I will take you a little bit behind to say that all ministries have equal weighting. When you talk about development, every ministry, irrespective of what they do, is a synergy. And if we see governance and ministerial responsibilities as intersectionalities, then it will be this thing. So no ministry is ahead of the other, but rather they are all the same, playing key roles to make sure that we have that synergy to bring out a result that the government can call its own. So my contribution, or my ministry's contribution towards the achievement of the goals and aspiration of the government of the Gambia in the new Gambia is first of all to talk about, give you a little bit about the context. We have inherited a very difficult situation. You all know that there was this autocratic regime that was not respecting institutions, and that has actually undermined institutions and also did not respect the importance of knowledge and technical expertise, as well as all other protocols that were supposed to move the country forward. This has resulted in a degeneration of the Gambia as a whole. At the same time, it has resulted in institutions losing their relevance and importance, and the key factors that should have played within the institution to move the Gambia forward has resulted in losing a lot of gains, thus being a pariah state. Apart from saying that, I think now we are very proud to say we have been ushered into a new republic, a third republic that has democratic principles led by His Excellency President Adama Barrow, with various institutions taking responsibility to ensure that the Gambia moves forward and try to harness everything it has to move it forward. Now, my ministry, which is Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, has a big portfolio in terms of responding to the new Gambia. And mainly, we are dealing with the private sector and trade development priorities for Gambia to move. But what I want to tell the population first is for them to understand that every ministry, and my ministry in particular, has a mandate. And our mandate is to look at how policies, programs, and processes are put in place so that the Gambia can benefit from that portfolio, and also other targets like youth, the private sector, the private policies, and all the other things that it goes with will benefit the country. Having inherited such difficult situation, the new regime, or the Third Republic, is designing projects under my portfolio to pursue reform measures to improve the business environment, promote investment, and ensure a fair trading environment for everybody. Because if you look at it, at one time they were saying that Gambia was the worst place to do business. And because of the human rights abuses, because of the abuse of the business people, the private sector, when people invest, all their monies are taken, or when they invest, they go halfway, then they take their properties and they had to leave. We are all aware of that. So the first task that needs to be done is to look at that business environment in order to facilitate trade and to come up with reforms that will respond to those ill practices that were being done, to boost the confidence of the population and the business sector, and also to take the right direction. Because having inherited such a colossal challenge, all you need to do is to sit down, work with your technical people. I want to say, I'm very proud to say that I have some very good technical people within the Ministry of Trade, and I was able to unleash their potential through a coordinated effort in this reform. And our objective is to promote the development of the private sector as the engine of growth and transformation that will help in transforming the Gambian economy from a predominantly agriculturally based economy to a modern economy linked to global markets and value chains. That is to have a private sector-led growth that will benefit people, and you know the job creation is going to be available when the private sector takes the lead. Government, of course, it has a primary responsibility, but it facilitates, it opens the doors, and we have to follow a pragmatic approach to it. And the private sector, as the engine of growth, needs to be prepared.
Honorable, I want to come in here before you go. So you just mentioned something which is very critical, and a lot of people have criticized this government for investment. Investment is under your portfolio. GAIPA is the body responsible for tapping for investment. Yes. Why would we have the Directorate of Investment under the office of the President? It seems like they're taking the job of GAIPA. Now it seems like investors are going straight to the office of the President because that's where the influence is.
You know, what is interesting is that people just come with conjectures and talk about issues that they do not seem to understand. The government is very much aware and in recognition of its ministries, because these are the arms that are supposed to guide the governance of this country, and each of these ministries have their portfolios. But sometimes when you put premium on a particular portfolio, particularly you have talked about how the investment environment was actually seen in another way because of the pariah state we had and the way investors were being treated. The Ministry of Trade is there to support whatever this government wants to do in terms of bringing that. So part of it, what we call positive discrimination, because it's a priority for the President, and because he wants to be informed, he had that body, you understand? But then it is not to say that it has usurped the responsibility of Ministry of Trade. You understand? Because you have GAIPA, it's under the Ministry of Trade, and GAIPA is dealing with investment issues. It deals with the investors, and also you have to go through due diligence. That still happens. Even if investors pass through the office of the President, they are going there. You know, when we talk about give it a high political profile, it is normal in development work. What we normally do is, if we have our setups, we say, okay, we want the President to chair this, we want the Minister to chair this, because we want to give it a high political profile. But when you talk about the technical dimension of it, there is a body responsible. I just want to assure you that the Ministry of Trade is the relevant institution, and the institution that the President recognizes and empowers to ensure that we do those things. So when people come, they want to meet him, they want to see him. Of course, he cannot meet them directly. So somebody has to be there to receive them, to listen to them, and let them come. Because at the end of the day, they will end up coming to us. They must have to go through the due diligence process. They will also have to be guided by technical people. They will also have to pass through GAIPA for them to know what window of opportunities are there, what the business environment is like, and that has been going on. So I did not raise issues because I felt it was just another boost to the business investment sector so that people will have the heart. Because can you imagine, when I came in, what we found out was that very few business people would ever invest in the Gambia if we had not taken the right direction. Because they have already been threatened a lot of things, they've lost a lot of opportunity. The few that were here were just trying to cope, because they've already invested their resources, they've already done a lot, and it will be difficult for them to leave. And you understand, and therefore they remain. But we came and found a very difficult environment. So business people are very intelligent, and they are very scheming. They want to know whether their investment is going to be protected or whether it is going to be in the right environment. So if the President gives it that type of political support and tries to listen to them and give them the courage, they will end up coming to the ministry. So what people are talking and criticizing, I have never complained about it, because I know what the dynamics are, and we have been going on business as usual. But the new Gambia, with the freedom of expression, and with the eagerness to involve, because there are 2 levels of governance. You have the government, and then you have those virtual governance. And you have to understand that they will have to put their voices out there. But then it's also an indicator for us to learn and to gauge the way they are thinking. But that should not derail us. I am not derailed by what people are saying. So it is just an added value to what the Ministry of Trade is doing.
Fatou, first I'd like to thank her, and she made a comment about all branches of government being equal. Theoretically, yes, that's a fact. But in real life, we know it doesn't exist. Why? If you look at budget allocations, not all ministries have the same resources allocated. Therefore, it's called ranking of priorities. And in prioritizing all our priorities, everything is a priority in public governance. But the weight that we put in trade, in investment, and employment is very significant, because it's the anchor and bedrock of the development aspirations of this country we all love and call the Gambia. Therefore, our expectations are too high. Our hopes are too high relative to the portfolio that you have, and it's under your stewardship. What we are saying as Gambians, we are seeing mixed signals. The mixed signals is leading us to a destination nowhere. In less than 1 year, we have 2 significant announcements or pronouncements on one particular issue, flour. Yes, the government of the Gambia wants to see investments come in the country, equally wants to see a homegrown organic growth that is inbuilt, not from imports, but value adding and processing in country. A letter emanated out of your ministry allowing importers to bring in flour. It has done 2 things. It has killed the prospect of Gambia to have a poultry feed mill, and a poultry feed mill would have helped us in our food self-sufficiency as it relates to poultry, and also create employment for our youth folk. Less than a year later, we have now seen a reversal of that. So is it that the technocrats don't know what they're doing, or there is political pressure behind some of these irrational decisions that's affecting the lives and livelihood of the average young man who wants to engage into poultry and has to go all the way to Senegal to buy poultry feed, when we have flour mills that can be the bedrock of a poultry industry? So what is the government doing, and does the government really know what they want to do?
Thank you very much. I think you've made such a wide analysis, and you have brought in so many issues, some of which are connected and those not connected. And I think this is an opportunity for me to make it clear, so that you understand the policy environment, you understand the implementation environment, as well as understand the programs that are in place that has to engineer, that has to feed into what the reforms that we want to do. You talked about the ranking and weighting. The ranking and weighting is coming as a result of prioritization. And I think you're right. There is a lot of that, because everybody thought that it is the Ministry of Trade that is going to create the jobs and create the employments. But then there is a synergy. You see, in governance, people have to understand what governance is all about. It is not about each ministry standing discreetly to do what it wants to do. It is about a synergistic approach, where issues that each sector brings together informs the decisions that we make policy-wise, which informs also the outcomes that we desire for the people and how it impacts on the population. If that is clear, then certain assumptions and analysis, which are not well analyzed, but taken for granted that this is what the issue is, comes into play. And I think this is the opportunity for us to sit down to think about it. And I'm happy to give you a little bit of clarification on that. I know that the expectations and hopes are too high, and that's why I have to start with the context. People who have been denied, and who have been abused, and who have no opportunity to express their expertise. Like I told you earlier, I came to the Ministry of Trade and found very good technical competence. I only knew about that when I interacted. I could have gone to say that, hi, Ministry of Trade, everything is this, but I've got good technical people. The hopes are high because people have been denied, and when there is a change, can you imagine 22 years of destruction upon poor governance? A new dispensation comes and trying to fix it. It requires step by step.
Yeah.
It requires taking the right steps for sustainability and to get the right answers and to direct your targets in the right way, so that whatever changes or whatever improvement that you are going to put in that destroyed context, it will be there and move beyond any individual, but it remains with the institutions. People come and go, but institutions remains. It is the principles, the processes, and the procedures that we put there that actually are inherited by anybody, irrespective of where you come from. Now, we are trying to respond to the expectations and to the hopes by taking a very systematic approach, a very sure approach through planning, research, consultation, and engaging not only within the Gambia, but outside the Gambia, in order for us to bring the Gambia back to the community of nations. Because there is a lot of hope, and we need resources, we need the technical expertise, both within and without. We also need the resources, both within and without. And the resources that is to be generated in the Gambia within has been completely destroyed. And I just want to refer you to the commissions, if you listen carefully, what has been going on, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Then you want to know that out there, Gambia was no longer in the map of certain development agents. They all left because we were not respecting the principles and the protocols and the conventions that guide good governance. So we are faced with different challenges, and each of these challenges are interconnected. You cannot bring the investors when the environment is not safe, when the environment is not giving them the options and the environment and the business-friendly environment that they need for them to invest their resources. We have to ensure that the legal provisions that are around will also not take their monies, the situation will not make them invest and then they lose it like what used to happen. So those are procedures and processes. You have to start making the environment and the policy context first, and that is what this government is doing in trying to create that. You cannot employ the youths when the jobs are not there. And before the jobs are there, you have to respect certain protocols, and to prepare your proposals, you have to study the environment. You have to look at what you have inherited and build upon that to make sure that you give them something sustainable. That is one. The mixed signal with regard you are talking about, in regards to the, that is not leading to us to nowhere. I think you are unfair to the state. You are unfair for the fact that what is happening is leading to somewhere. Today,
let's put it in a proper context.
Okay, do that.
When I said mixed signals, as it relates to the issue of flour.
Okay, that is leading us nowhere.
Can I please,
yes.
Because I like to contextualize things.
Okay.
It was not a generic statement, it was a specific statement. We know that importation will only give us duties and warehousing, where they store. If you bring commodity in country, the value added is to duties and warehousing, where you store it. When you do processing, it has an exponential value to the economy. Wealth creation, employment creation, service generation.
But you said mixed signals leading us nowhere.
I'm coming.
E.g. flowers.
I am saying a letter was issued from the government months back, allowing importers to bring flour, when at the same time you're trying to promote processing and homegrown activities.
Thank you.
And if you do that, there is one thing you are going to do. You would have had a multi-sectoral benefit, whereby the agricultural sector would have had a base to create a poultry feed mill by using the byproduct of flour creation, flour manufacturing or processing.
Okay.
Now, if you allow importers to come, you're killing the very industry you're supporting. And of late, we have seen that government has retracted from that letter of months back to once again make sure that processing of flour homegrown is promoted. So that's where I come when I say mixed signal, because you have made two policy pronouncements in a short time. And in policy life, you cannot just change and shift policy in a short period. Then it means it's a mixed signal.
Okay, thank you. It's very clear. What I want to tell you is that it's not a mixed signal. You have to understand the environment and the context we have inherited. the policy context that we are talking about with regards to flour, we are now, the policy for the government is the policies, laws and regulations are to upgrade efficient functioning of the labor market. And if you look at, we're talking about a liberalized economy. We're talking about trying to get the engine of growth as the private sector that can lead to be the engine of growth, create the employment, and also they will leverage their resources and also look at the environment and see how they engage to support the government to do that. And we are also, when we talk about liberalization, and in our policies, with doing trade, investment, and private sector engagement, we want to development to promote it, to facilitate that. We need to look at what is in the best interest of the Gambia. Remember, these are processes. What I want to send to the public is that it's not just, you may have beautiful thinking, you may have beautiful ideas, but ideas, you think about them, you conceptualize them, and then you plan them and implement them in development theory.
Precisely.
Yeah. Isn't it? So in that process, all you need to do, people are a little bit, the expectations are high, as you said, and the hopes also. Now, people need to understand that Rome was not built in a day. And they have to understand that when you are dealing with certain things that requires you to come up with results, you have to go through a filter. It is not like when, once we say do this and it happens, then it means we are dictators. And we are avoiding that dictatorial tendency. Our president is completely different. And the environment we have already ushered in, which is a democracy, a multi-party democracy, we have to allow processes to go further and take the due process and the due diligence for us to be able to do that. So what the letter we are talking that emanated from my ministry with regards to flour, you may not understand what we are saying. We want to protect the local, the locally produced, the industries that have invested not only flour, even cement, with onions, with potatoes. The recent one or the previous one? With potatoes. What we are coming. So the policy that we have come up with to strengthen, or what we are trying to bring in, is to say that we have to protect the local industries.
That's the recent letter.
Which letter you are referring to? I don't know.
Two letters.
No, I will come to the letters.
No. I want to just narrow.
But don't narrow it.
No. Reason why
I am here to educate.
She is saying that she wrote a letter.
I didn't write a letter.
Your department.
I did not. Which letter?
When I say you, I'm talking about your.
Okay, what I'm trying to say here is
what I'm saying.
Which letter?
What I'm saying here, and I want to make it very specific.
But I'm not trying to say.
You made a comment that
I want to know which letter.
Homegrown industry.
What we are saying. Listen, I'm trying to taking you through a process.
Let her just finish.
I think if you are the people who are going to be the eye of the government, so you have to get it clear and understand it well.
Yeah.
If you do not understand it, with the presumptions you think you have this atu,
No,
you will be losing.
This is not a battle.
It is not a battle. It is about.
We are in the same boat.
We are in the same boat.
We are here to complement.
It is about you using your platform to portray what the government is doing and how it is doing it, so that the people out there who are watching and who may not have that level of critical analysis to understand how we are trying to address certain issues in the best interest of the people and of the country and of the state. And let's put the letter aside and let me explain to you, and I'll let you know. But then we will bring it.
Daddy,
I'll talk about the letter.
Honorable Minister, before we go further, what I want us to do is, first and foremost, we want to start to outline.
Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to do.
Different key areas.
Let me outline it.
Investment,
and then
employment, regional integration.
Yes, you can come.
Because I want us to give us.
Yes, that's what I think that's what we did.
Outline. Let's outline first.
I love the engagement. No. I love the engagement.
Yes.
But I also want to use this opportunity to inform and educate.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
To inform and educate.
Yeah.
Because out there are lots of conjectures that are being made. There are lots of analysis which people are entitled to.
Yeah.
This is a democracy. And they have the right to freely express but then you have to also listen to be able to go with something, or let the people hear what the government is doing in terms of the areas that we are talking, so that they understand that certain things are in progress, they are in the being, and certain things have happened, and we are trying to address them. Certain things are in the making, and this is the plan. This is what I am here for. Now, I have talked to you about what we plan as with the private, as the Minister of Trade. Using the private sector as the engine of growth, and also looking at the policy context. Now, the priorities, for example, what I'm talking to you now is within the framework of the National Development Plan. Because when we came in, we were trying to understand the context and the ministries, what is there, what have we found, what are the issues that need to do, and this National Development Plan has created the roadmap for the Gambia to take now a strategic direction, a direction that is going to benefit the Gambia and beyond us. That is the National Development Plan from 2018 to 2021. And the trade priorities in the National Development Plan is what I want to outline to you so that they know. Some have already been started. We have 5 key areas, and that is policies, laws, and regulations will be upgraded for efficient functioning of the labor market. Because you cannot create that market without having the policies, the right policy environment, and the context and the regulatory frameworks to do that. So the public should know that in any dispensation that you know, you need to put your priorities and to also put policies, laws, and regulations, or upgrade the early regulations we found, because we are not reinventing the wheel, but we are trying to look at what is wrong, where the challenges are, upgrade them, and bring in new dimensions, working together with the public. Then the second priority is trade, investment, and private sector development, promoted and facilitated. We are also going to look at that. And how do we do that? It's already a plan within the National Development Plan. Then you have the medium and small scale enterprises and industrial growth enhanced. Now, the industrial growth enhanced is the third sector where you are talking about that later. And I'll get back to you since I'm trying to follow the framework for people to understand. The fourth priority is skills for employment and employability enhanced. Because if you look at it, we have 65% of the population are youth. Majority of them are either not skilled or semi-skilled, and a few that are skilled. So you will find that there is a capacity gap. And if you're looking about employment and so on, you will have to address those skills and create them to be more employable, either within the framework of their motor skills, that is they are using their skills to do, or to be academically fit to take on certain dispensations and responsibilities. So that is another one. Then the national quality infrastructure improved. Now, you cannot compete outside or even within the country. We must aim for quality. We must aim for standards. We must aim for the best that we could, and then we can compete outside. So if we come with that policy framework within the National Development Plan under the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, then we know that we are on the right footing. And that's what we have. That is what is happening. And I want the public to know. If you don't just say, let this be, and it becomes. There's a lot of work going on. Now, under this first one, which is policies, laws, and regulations, to be upgraded for efficient functioning of the labor market, our strategy is to strengthen labor administration through review and implementation of Labor Act and the Trade Union Act and regulations. Gambia needs that. There was nothing like respecting any of these laws. It was like executive directives, or you use the people to enforce certain things, which is not right. If we're talking about the democracy,
are we not saying that?
And respecting the
are we not saying any of that in the current government?
We are moving. We are moving. We have inherited a difficult situation where people are used to doing things, and now for them to change, we have to be patient. We have to, you have to understand. I want the public to understand that we have inherited a situation where people don't even bother to find out. They don't research. They just get information, or somebody takes a picture of a letter and posts it to them and not understanding the context. So people get it and then use it as a trump card. That has been going on. You see, that's what happens. So I'm trying to use this opportunity for people to understand. We want to strengthen these acts, have the Labor Acts and the Trade Union Acts and regulations that is going to guide the functioning of the labor market. Because it is business, it is about people engaging, so therefore there must be regulations for it to work. And if we are going to engage internationally, that's what we need to understand. We cannot just come in and do what we are. That's why we were classified as an autocratic state. Now this is a democracy, so we are very conscious of that. So the remnants of the autocratic behavior is still there. That's what people have to understand. As ministers, we are constantly battling and challenging those things, calling each other's attention and reminding our technocrats that it's no longer that context that is existing. This is a context where we want to respect and work according to procedures, rules, laws, and regulations.
Yeah.
And in our process of doing that, the key actions to be taken is that the process of reviewing and updating the Labour Act has commenced. We have started that.
Okay.
We have also, the trade union bill has been drafted. We have a trade union bill that has been drafted, and it is now at the stage of legal scrubbing with the Ministry of Justice. You see, those are the legal tools. Work for the second labor, we are working for the second labor force survey has also started. You understand? And our target is to complete the process by end of June 2018. It's a process. The completion of the labor force survey will lead to the update of the employment policy and action plan, which is very key. And then that is what we are planning under this section on functioning of the labor market. If you have that framework, then everything will fall in place. Yes. But remember, it is not 1 day or 2 days. You have a technical committee, you have technocrats, you have also the other international community like the WTO and all the other relevant institutions, UNCTAD and others, to work with us in terms of capacity building, guidance and consultancy for us to be able to get the best standards. Because we are a democracy. We don't want to be subjective to say we are there, this is what we want to happen. No, we're looking at standards. So when that is happening, it takes processes. The meetings are going on, the consultations are going on, and most of the time, you have to move in and out. Sometimes our technical people go out, sometimes the technical people or the funders come in, so that we have that cross-fertilization, we have that discussion in order for us to come with the best practices for this document to be ready. So this is why ministers or technical people sometimes do travel, and that contractor is there.
We'll come to that, Honorable Minister.
Yes, I'm coming. Yes,
let me come.
Yes.
So I want to come, Honorable, I want us to do it this way. Let's start with investment. What specific procedures is your department doing to attract investors into the country? You mentioned earlier that, of course, this country has been giving a very negative light in the international scene. Now that it's been 13 months, what specific
attract investors?
Yes.
We have GAIPA. You know what the role of GAIPA is?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't, now let me use it as an example to educate and inform the people.
Yeah.
GAIPA, the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, is an arm of the Ministry of Trade that is supposed to deal with the regulatory aspects of investment, to advise, give technical support, and also guide the investors to see. And what is in place is you have laws, you have regulations, you have all the information there that will give you as a one-stop shop. That is what GAIPA does.
Yes.
And GAIPA, when investors come there, they visit the minister and the ministry. They explain their expression. We either invite them or they come to bring their letter of intent, and then we invite them officially. It's a procedure.
Yeah.
We invite them officially to come, and then when they come, they go through GAIPA. And during that process, they are taken through the whole process. They have the soft copy. We have the website. They have the technical people who are there in different directorates, sections, to advise them. And sometimes this is crowned with a debriefing of everything that they do to the minister and the technical team. And from there, there is an MOU that is signed. And from there, we set the priorities. We guide them. That is what is happening. So those who are thinking that investors are not giving the guides, I think you have to understand that GAIPA is an institution under the arm of the Ministry of Trade that has been doing that and is doing it and is upgrading and improving its processes and procedures, especially in this third regime, especially in this new dispensation, to respond to the global indicators and the global expectations and standards that will fit in within the investment environment. So that people should understand that the Ministry of Trade is responding to that, and we are doing it.
Precisely. I mean, I think, Fatou, you raised a question about investment. You see, the only currency in investment is called political stability and visibility. And that is not the role of the Ministry of Trade, but it's the role of the government as a whole. And investors don't love countries. They love what you call return on investment. And what makes their return of investment lucrative or attractive is the value proposition countries do give them. I do believe the Gambia wants investors to come in. I do believe the Gambia is open for business. But as much as the Gambia is open for business, we have to be realistic and not be theoretical. In theory, everything that has been laid out by the Honorable Minister, I applaud, hence me nodding my head all the time she was talking. But unfortunately, theory sometimes don't meet with application. And the reason why it doesn't meet with application, one, is what they have inherited as it relates to institutional culture. The Gambian, the current Gambian is yet to transform from what was in the past 22 years.
To what is.
But that's why we need change agents within these institutions. And the change agents, one, must be radical, two, willing to think out of the box and shift of paradigm. And that shifting of paradigm starts with them looking at Gambia differently. She made mention of liberalization. How far should we go into liberalization? Why not we look at ourselves and say economic nationalism? It's not protectionism, but Gambia first. And hence, me referring back to the same subject matter we were talking about, the letter. Just because we are not civil servants don't mean we don't think like civil servants and we don't understand policy. We read because those documents are national documents and belong to the people. Hence them serving the people. And when we interject, it's not a Isatou. We're trying to point out things that they not see the way we see them. I will make it very clear once again. 2 letters with the same subject matter, 9 months to a year apart, basically. The first letter allowed importation to come in again. What does that do? The very mandate they have to grow the private sector, not importers and merchants, private sector, value-added people. They are now destroyed. They were then destroying it. 9 months to a year later, they realized that they were not helping the very flour mills they helped give holidays, tax breaks, tax incentives, and now they have revised. Hence me saying, was that a mixed signal? If it's not a mixed signal, I don't know what it was. Because policy is medium to long term.
I will explain it to you. You see, we have to be systematic in the way we do. You cannot be stochastic in what you do. I want to advise you to understand, and that's the crisis Gambia is facing now development-wise, where everybody is coming with your own interests, or what interests you, and you are not looking at it from a broader context. And because we are not looking at it from a broader context, we go with wrong conjectures and wrong analysis, feeding out there, just coming to see that, or coming to realize that, oh, I made a mistake. And we start either retracting or trying to reshape the narrative. That is why my presence here today, I'll be ready to answer all these questions. Just allow me to move on. You will get to know. And I am happy that you have actually answered yourself. You said, you know, we are coming from a very challenging situation. And that the first letter, now we decided to turn over. When we came, there was nothing in the economy. There was nothing. Bread was not even available. And you will find that those people who
Bread was not available?
Was not readily available, yes.
I tend to disagree, Ma.
Yes, I will let you know the context, because we have gone through, during the impasse, it was very difficult. The investors will not engage in business when, like you said, there is political instability.
Agreed.
You've answered yourself. When there is
no, I didn't answer myself.
No, okay.
I complimented what you said.
Yes, what I'm saying, but that's your analysis. I just want to take
what you said.
I'm taking you back to what you said. Political instability.
I didn't know. That's why I asked you about the letter.
Okay, political instability is one key issue, and lack of peace in a country that can derail the whole investment environment for any country. That's a mantra you should know.
Absolutely.
And Gambia cannot be. But you know what happened.
Absolutely.
Gambia cannot be left behind. And you know that. Now, Gambia is open for business. Yes, that is something I have been saying. But it is open for business. You are talking to a public and to a critical mass of investors who also want to look at key issues that you have raised to ensure that they are able to come and do business. You understand? So that's the whole thing. Now, if you allow me, you're talking about the institutional culture. Yes, the institutional culture of a country, or institutions, have to take a particular set of standards. And when we came in, there were no standards whatsoever. And I think one evidence that you have to use at the moment is what is being reported in the commissions. How people who are supposed to take the lead, who are supposed to follow procedures, are not actually following procedures, but saying, I was told, Yaya asked me, I was under duress, I was under this. I agree with you totally
Minister, I want to come in here a little.
Yes.
So, personally, I still want to give you another example of letters somewhat related to investment. Related to investment. I just want to give you another example so you can tackle both of together. The MGI issue. MGI is one of the biggest investors that were in this country. They were going. You mentioned the commission. They were going through the commission. Like the reason why so many people are talking about the Director of Investment at the Office of the President. MGI went to the Office of the President through the Director of Investment. And with all the things that are happening at the commission that we are hearing that they have been doing with the former president, MGI was awarded to come back again and take over the gateway. When after a couple of hours, in less than 24 hours, the letter was rescinded. Honorable Minister, when you make those kind of decisions, when you give investors those kind of priorities, and then again come back to that decision, that's what makes us worried, because those things are really serious.
You are talking now to the wrong person. With regards
MGI
to
is
that,
an investor.
Excuse me? They are investors.
Yeah.
Like you said, there are different investors.
Yes.
You are talking to the wrong person, because you said under the Directorate of Investment, under the Office of the President.
Yes.
Like I said, that was a transaction that was done there.
Yeah.
So it was not under my ministry.
So that's why we should not. Are you agreeing that we should not have that
No, I'm
investment?
coming, but I have already given you, I am not disagreeing. I am not disagreeing. For the fact that the Director of Investment, or Director of Investment that is under the Office of the President, you understand, has some role to do, and those are transactions that were done within that.
Yeah.
If we are privy to some of this information with regards to investment of other investors that they come, what we deal with is those that come through GAIPA, through the ministry, and we have to. And as the institution that is supposed to be dealing with that, we have done it.
Honorable Minister, you see, that's why we are. See, that is why we are not supposed to have that department.
No, you cannot say that we are not supposed to have. You know why? Do you know what is happening?
Yes.
People are expressing, it is very interesting. What I am beginning to learn, and the way I see the Gambia moving. In a democracy, we have to be very careful of how we manage the democracy and how what the environment of democracy demands.
Yes.
People have a right to say, I want to come and see you, to go through the Ministry of Trade to do something. And it is happening.
No, but that's right.
I have been receiving, or my ministry has been receiving, people, Gambians, who lead investors to the country to come and explain what they want to do.
Yes.
And when they come, we listen to them, we advise them, we guide them, and then when they come, some of them give us very high hopes that this is what I want to do, but later on it is rescinded. So what is wrong about that?
No, there is something wrong here. Procedurally.
We are not complaining procedurally.
Honorable. Okay, then.
No, let us forget about the letters. I will get there with you. You know why?
Yes.
The letters you are talking about.
Yeah.
I know this is the gossip of this nation, of the current situation.
We bring the gossips to the table.
No, that's why I know it is the gossips, and we are very much affair with them.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is to use this as a forum to inform and educate. And I will respond to anything that is within my mandate and I know of. And you all know that.
Yes,
I will do that.
Yes.
So what I want to let you know is that let us not belabor too much time on those letters, because I know they have relevance. Now we will get to the portion where that relevance is going to be shown, and that you will be well informed. You will be well informed to understand the context of those letters.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
I will
so
allow
I want us to move on.
Yeah, we will move on.
Yes.
Fatou, I will allow
you understand?
that. I like it. But what I'm saying here
and I want to just respond to what you have said.
You
understand?
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
institutional culture really needs to be improved.
Yes.
We have inherited institutions that failed.
Yeah.
And if they have failed, it means the institutional culture that was operating, there were no due diligence, there were no procedures and processes, and therefore we have to change. We have to really radicalize the whole institution. I agree with you. And that radical approach does not mean that people have to be victims.
No.
Thank you. So this is what I want you to understand.
But you need change agents.
Yes. Under this, under this dispensation, we are aware of that and very conscious of that. And we cannot take the whip of one person or a few to whip the whole country.
I agree.
That's not within the spirit of democracy. And fundamental freedoms and rights of the individual and the integrity.
But you need
so that's what is happening.
Yeah.
Thinking out of the box. You understand? We are thinking out of the box. And if you listen to me a little bit, to move on, you will be able to see how we are thinking out of the box. We cannot please everybody, and we are not here to please everybody. We have to look at the best interests of the country, the best interests of the people, and because we have been given the mandate, we've been given the mandate
for the next 3
to
years
represent the people,
and
to govern.
Who is we?
And you understand?
Who is we?
The government. I'm not exonerating myself from this government because as a minister,
the government. He's
saying
as
a government.
He's saying as a government.
As a government.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
That's why we are giving the mandate. The people gave us the mandate. You gave us the mandate. We have been given. When I say we here, I mean the government that is currently ruling. You understand? We have been given the mandate to represent the people. We have been given the mandate to do what is in the best interest of the country and its people. You understand? And as a result, what is important, like you said, we may not please everybody, but we should strive very hard to ensure that at least 95% of the population will appreciate the efforts that we are doing, and to make to make sure that it is not for our personal interest, but for the best interest of the country. So you will find that thinking the radical approach you are talking about, we are taking, but there is also the radical approach does not have to be punitive.
No way.
It doesn't have to be punitive. That is the reason why we are going all through to overhaul the laws, looking at what is best in them, retaining them, looking at what we have been crying and the impact of the oppression that we went for 22 years and what is happening in different institutions and places to be able to rectify them, working together, getting the voices of the people and bringing it into them and be transparent about it. That is what we have been doing. And you first and foremost have to start to create that policy environment. That is what, thinking out of the box, as I said, we'll get to know. Shifting paradigm, of course we have shifted paradigm.
No, not yet.
We have, excuse me?
Go ahead.
What we have shifted, you see.
What have you shifted?
From an autocratic regime to a democracy.
No. We have shifted a system, not
paradigm.
System,
no. Excuse me.
Okay, yes.
That's a system.
Yes.
And it's about paradigm shift.
Paradigm is thinking.
It's not only thinking.
Paradigm is
thinking. It is about thinking and putting. Yes, the thinking is a democratic thinking and the autocratic thinking are two paradigms.
Now
let us go into analysis. No, let us go.
We have shifted the system.
We have shifted
and the best asset of the public service are its people. You cannot change the system if the people that perpetuated that. When I say perpetuated, the culture, I'm not talking about crimes. The culture of what was, where people look at an individual, not laws and procedure. Now we want to revert that. The only way we can revert that is to bring change agents and champions. And these champions will inspire others. So don't fire anybody, but bring people who will inspire.
She already mentioned that she had good technicians in the department.
Yeah, but those technicians were in a system for 22 years and the mindset.
You might be punitive there.
That I think
we know what is happening. This is what I want to manage.
Yeah.
And I think this is very important for the public
to know. Yeah.
You see, Gambia is in an extraordinary circumstance. It is under an extraordinary circumstance. And the circumstance in which the Gambia is, if we are not careful and do not manage it properly, we're going to lose the trails. And that's what this government is after.
Okay.
We believe in the true principles of democracy. We believe in following rules and regulations and laws. And we believe in giving people the opportunity to prove themselves right or otherwise before the law takes its due course.
Honorable Mr.
I want the world to know that, that this is what the Gambia stands for and this is what the Adama Barrow government stands for. And this is what we want the Gambians who are out there. Everybody has a story to tell. Even me sitting here, I have a story to tell. But I want to move beyond that. I am above that. And I want to make sure that every Gambian should follow me as an example to come and bring the positive aspect of the experiences, the harrowing experiences we have, convert them into positive vibes to help our country move.
But we're not asking for
No,
recognition.
what you are saying is, the people you are talking about, who you are actually sort of condemning.
I'm not condemning.
Daddy, I want to come here.
What we're saying here, let's make it simple.
Daddy, no. Daddy, no.
Because if we cannot remove everybody.
No, not remove.
Daddy, I want
then the institutional memory will be lost.
Daddy, yes, that is very important.
The institutional memory will be lost.
Yes.
The dignity of the person is not being respected and recognized. Yes. We've not heard from the person.
Ask how to
they
remove.
found, excuse me. Yeah. They found themselves in a context in which they were a part of. You understand? All of us were a part of it. All. Let us accept and understand. See, if we agree and understand the context that we are all emerging, then we will make Gambia the best in the world. The possibility is there. And let us not underestimate and let us not feel that because people who were there have listened or have followed or were quiet and doing this, now we should deal with them and bring the other people who are coming. How can you guarantee that you or any other person or myself can bring this change? It's together.
It's together we can do it.
I think we are all singing the same song.
We will move on from that.
We are all singing the same song, but it has to be very clear.
Daddy, let me know.
Let me tell you. Now that shifting paradigm, you may understand, it's ideas, but paradigm shifts. Those ideas are put into action that brings the product.
Yes.
It is the thinking and the philosophy of an autocratic regime to rule by lack of respect for institutions. Yes. You have all the panacea there. It is the criteria of a democracy to rule by respect and rule of law, consensus and allowing freedom of expression and so on and so forth. So it's a paradigm shift.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not.
It's definitely a paradigm shift. It's definitely a paradigm shift. Definitely. Honorable Minister, I want us to move on to youth employment.
So now let me just
employment, youth.
There are skills for employment and employability enhanced. That's what I want to come. You see, yes. I like the discussions, but I've prepared myself.
This discussion is beautiful, yes.
You see, so you will allow me because I am not
Dr. Isatou.
I am not talking to you, I'm talking to the public.
And you realize that she's always talking to the camera. She's talking to the camera,
not talk to the polity. I've come to talk to the world to understand what the Barrow government is doing to nurture this democracy and move this country forward, despite the fact that we have come from a very difficult and challenging circumstances. Now, under the skills for employment, that's the second key priority area under the National Development Plan. We have the strategy is to enhance skills for employment and employability.
Yes. Employability.
Enhance skills for employment and employability. And the key actions to be taken, skills that were taken and have started is in progress. Skills development programs under the Youth Empowerment Project has been launched, such as Skills for Youth Employability, funds which seek to train 1,000 youths on skills that are relevant to the labor market to improve their employability. I told you earlier on what the gap was. When under the Youth Empowerment Project also, we had 1,037 youths trained in entrepreneurship and different market-oriented skills. For example, we are talking about, you have the cyber warriors. Now you're talking about the internet connectivity. You have the satellite installations who are trained for that, CCTV, mobile phone repairs, agribusiness. If you watch just recently, we had a show in GTTI where all these skill sets were being displayed by young people, and it gives me hope that in the next, in 5 years' time, most of the installations, majority of the people will come from the Gambia and not to think about other companies. Of course, we need to be globalized also. But you have to build the skill set.
Yes.
You understand? Then my ministry and the Ministry of Youth, we have signed an MOU, have signed more than 20 partners with different institutions to promote youth and market-oriented services. You understand? Including development for a new curriculum for and content manual for the Gambia tourism and hotel industry. You see, we have to plan ourselves. It is not about just saying this is what I want, let it happen. You bring the people there, they do FOPA, you never see the tourists again. The institutions will not remain. We want a sustained and long-standing institutions and a team of experts or young people who are good. Just like I see young people here dealing with that. With the cameras and so on. So we want more of them. You understand? Operational strengthening of the Gambia youth scheme. Then the third is with the youth. We are facilitating and encouraging them. And I want to talk here much of the issue. Those that have returned, the migrants, the returnees, the young people. My ministry took the opportunity under the Ministry of, under the unit, employment unit, to make a study to find out what is the underlying factor that has triggered young Gambians to leave the country, to go out, even though they know these were perilous journeys. And they are dying there, and that has not discouraged anybody from going. Of course, the study was very interesting. We looked at their background, we looked at why, we looked at what would they like to do, look at their capacity when we met them, and what is their future direction. Because when you want to address migration, is a normal phenomenon, let me tell you that.
Global.
It's global. But then there are migrations that are triggered by circumstances. And I think Gambia is one of those countries that are triggered by that circumstance, even though we had very minute migration before the crisis. You understand? Now, those young people, most of them are not skilled. Most of them, some of them are even educated. Those who are said they have skills, they cannot show a certificate for it. And some who were involved in some skillful work left it and now have come back. We have to do something for them. We are also engaging them. We're reintegrating them. We are also giving them skills. We are also working with them. We are not imposing it on them. We work with them. We empower them to tell us what they want, and we give them the opportunity to sit down and think, and then we come together and prepare business plans for them. Some have said they want to go back to their past activity. Some said they want new sets of skills. Some said they even want to go to school. And could you believe, in migration, most of the young people who are migrating from the rural areas to the capital. When they come to the capital, there is nothing to offer. They decided to go out. That's natural. And now we've witnessed a phenomenal return of those young people without actually being deported. Voluntarily, they are brought in, and those who are deported also have been are being absorbed because they are our citizens. We cannot reject them, and we have to face the reality, looking at what is happening within the global order and how our countries are protecting. We have to protect our people. So all I want to say here is that the young people out there, this government is doing everything it can within its frame, working with the international community, the IOM, working with World Trade Organization, working with UNCTAD, and all other international institutions, with the European Union, with all donor agencies, the UN system, to respond to their needs. But we have to follow a process that will be sustainable for them and that will fulfill their life's desires. That is going on. It is not magical. We have to go through processes. To learn how to fix a spoke of a bicycle, you will have to learn it before you can do it.
Fatou, the Honorable Minister need to pay for a progress report. Right now, she is giving a progress report. This is no longer a show.
No, it's
You're
not.
giving a progress report, and we were supposed to have a conversation.
But this conversation is what I'm doing.
No, you're addressing.
I am addressing the young people because
address us.
You know, we are sitting on a bombshell because you are hearing and you are getting, and you are the people who shape the minds and hearts of the people. But we also have a role to play.
I agree.
And I could remember over these weeks, they are saying that the problem of this government is lack of communication.
Communications, yes. We said it.
We have had it.
In fact, in this show.
Yes, we have had it.
Oh, good.
We have seen it. But then, you see, people have to understand that before you can face a public to talk, we will give you progress. You have to do something and show them, let them understand. We all have to be in it together. Especially when you are dealing with ministries, you have to look at all these things and so on. I don't want to come and give you anything that is that is not right, or that I cannot substantiate, or that is not in progress. So I want the people to be a little bit patient. We are doing what we can. We know all of us are suffering. It's a very difficult situation, and I know what it takes. So let everybody be patient. Let us move on. We are responsive to whatever you are doing, and things are unfolding. And when I come to unleash the rest later, that will
unleash the rest later.
But I want to have just a side issue before she continues.
Okay.
The politician in her is very active as we speak here.
Am I a politician?
Oh, very much so. A shrewd one, and a shrewd one at that matter.
No.
We will come to that.
We will come to politics later on. This conversation is going to be long.
Now, what I'm going to do.
We will come to the politics later.
I am having a portfolio, a very broad portfolio.
Yes.
And it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And I take my time to try to be up to the standards.
And it's cross-cutting.
And it is cross-cutting. And I also have to understand that they need to build the synergy. And people also need to understand that to build the synergy, you need to understand each of those components and see where the intersections are and where they complement each other for it to move. That's what people have. Because sometimes when you talk about youth unemployment, you are now talking about having to get the youth to be trained. You're talking about employing and so on. So the third key issue under the National Development Plan is the trade, investment and private sector development promoted and facilitated. We promote it because you were asking me, how can the investor come here and so on when this thing, but I've talked about GAIPA and that is known. Now, our strategies are, people have to listen carefully to understand that there is a very systematic approach to this, and inshallah, we're going to move in the right direction. Diversify local production by introducing high value products such as Findi, local moringa, sesame, honey, cashew, and horticulture for both export and domestic market. Like I told you, the policy context in terms of the quality infrastructure. These are all things when you add value and so on and so forth. So these are things that are produced here, and these are things that Gambians can be proud of, and we can still produce for outside, but also here. Then we also want to enhance capacity for custom clearance and establishment of single window customs clearance system. Because when you talk about investment, trade, and promoting and facilitating it, that aspect is very important in facilitating that trade. So under the diversification, we have collaboration with ITC, that's the International Trade Center, which have developed 8 project concepts designed to help implement some of the strategies under this outcome in the National Development Plan. So we have already gotten commitment from the ITC. They are our partners. And you know they are the one implementing the Youth Empowerment Project. And also some other things that are coming. And maybe to tell you that this could have been directly instituted, but then this thing was being thought of when we realized that the context in which we are will not give any confidence to anyone. So we had to get an institution that can help to build that support, and that's what is happening. Engage in development partners for the implementation of these projects, and we are engaging with them. The development partners, we are identifying, it's not everybody, those that are relevant within my mandate are brought in to come and give support. Now, Gambia's notification under the Trade Facilitation Agreement have been submitted to WTO in January 2018 because we were out of most of these international bodies that will facilitate trade. And I'm telling you, if we are not part of them, we cannot even get funds from them. This is what people have to understand. And it's not everybody that knows. So if that is the case, you have to follow procedures. You have to engage constantly. And you have to fulfill certain criteria. You also have to bring out certain information for the Gambia to be in a good footing, for those people to respect and recognize it and give you the opportunity to do so. And I'm happy to say that we have worked on it, working with the international community to let it happen. The World Trade Organization, the ministry is in consultation with the Gambia Revenue Authority, is working on a technical assistance request. We are getting technical assistance requests because, like you said, there is a big capacity gap, and that's a fact. So that capacity gap is what we are going to also addressing.
Short term.
Yes, short term and long term. Medium,
short term and medium term with Gambians, hopefully.
Yes, short term. You see, I want to tell you that the nationalism you are explaining now, if we were not nationalistic, we will not have removed the Gambia from the autocratic regime. So with the nationalism, we also have to be objectively engaged when we do the work.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what is important now, because we don't have to apply any selfish tendency, and that's what I want to let people understand. The primary duty bearer of Gambians is the government, and the government's primary responsibility is to its people. But we cannot do it alone. We do it with people. And we have to take cognizance of that and also recognize them and engage with them constructively. That's what I want to set the message for. Then we have the development of GAITAF Business Park. You already know we have developed the GAITAF. When I came in and we were scoping that's where nationalism comes now. Scoping for who can we engage to start, because the Gambia as it is, when I looked at the whole issue and I did my institutional assessment of the whole ministry under the portfolios that I'm giving, I realized that many people will not come to take the risk if we do not have sons and daughters of the soil engage. So that's a strategy that I employed, and we decided to follow tough even up to Nigeria. if a Gambian can succeed in Nigeria to build a city and to be part of the eco village and open different length and breadth throughout the region, business investments, then he or she deserves to be recognized.
Totally.
And we needed a champion. You were talking about champions. You see, these are rhetorics that are flowing out there. But we have to understand the context in which they should flow. And we have to also know the strategies that we should apply for it to happen. You see, so those things are flowing. We have identified a champion. He's qualified by all means. There is nothing else that he has done to get it but his job and the fact that he is competent and he has shown evidence for his craftsmanship in the field of business and investment.
Totally agree.
So the GAITAF Business Park has been officially launched in March and is a partnership between GAITAF and TAF Africa. GAIPA. GAIPA is under the Ministry of Trade, but it is the technical arm responsible for anything. So there is that partnership between the government and the private sector. And the homes are coming.
So it's an SPV?
Yes, it is. So you will see that these things are happening. And it's a Gambian. Now, he is engaging a lot of people who are both Gambians and non-Gambians because we do not have all the technical capacity. And Gambians must have to understand that. The objective is to provide the state-of-the-art infrastructure, attract investment, and create jobs. That's how it is all about. Then we have the National Business Council. The National Business Council has just been recently launched by His Excellency the President. And it is established through a cabinet which I presented to the cabinet and I got the approval. And it is a strategy also to bring in the business sector and give them ownership. If our philosophy is that the private sector is the engine of growth, so we must be seen to be acting it out. And therefore, the National Business Council is going to create an interface between the government and the private sector, you understand, under the guidance of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce, GCCI, and other private individuals within the business sector who could come together, discuss issues, because we want them to be part of the policy making. We don't want to take them as add-ons. We have to walk the talk. We have to move together. It has to be participatory from the beginning, from A to Z. That's what we have. And we have launched it already. That one is already launched. We also have the improvement of the implementation of the regional programs. You see, these are all things for facilitation, because when you talk about business and when you talk about trade, it's not only within the country, but it's outside. The public sensitization on the ETLS conducted, an MOU is signed with GCCI for effective implementation. Trade and transit cooperation agreements between Gambia and Senegal drafted and submitted to Senegal. That has been done, and I think it's almost in a final thing and so, because you don't just get up and say, hey, it's not about that. It is about professionalism. It is about the integrity and the dignity of the country in trying to work in governing these people and coming with tangible and respectable indicators to move this country forward. Government is strengthening collaboration with Senegal to improve cross-border trade. And I think if you remember, just a month, 2 months ago, we had the Senegambia free movement trade, and we have institutionalized it. It was done in Karang, and it was very exactly. So you saw what was there and what happened. And there are so many
But we saw the cashew again last week. So where are we heading?
We are coming. I'm coming on that. That has been resolved. That's the reason why we have this. Under the AU and my ministry, we have led the CFTA negotiation, which was signed in March 2018. You understand? That is why Dr. Touray, the Minister of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, with her technical team, are traveling out, in and out, to do the negotiations, to work on the technical people. There is a procedure and a process that takes place. I don't appear on anything that is not ministerial. All the meetings I go are ministerial meetings, and all the ministers who I can speak for, all of them, go on meetings that are ministerial. Then we have our senior officers, who are the technical people, who go out there and start looking at the documents. And it is a combination of various sectors, from the Ministry of Trade, Foreign Affairs, to Finance, to Tourism, to Agriculture, to whatever, health, where any type of trade, any type of instrument or convention that the Gambia has to belong, there is a combination of teams that have to go. Their technical people will meet up with other technical people all over the continent that have implications for that tool to be part of it so that nobody is left behind. There is inclusivity. When that is done, then the document is then filtered through consultations, and you have to be there, you have to be present. And finally, the ministers have time to reflect, look at it, and then give it its endorsement, and then followed by the heads of state. I want this to be clear to the people to understand that traveling and going out is not something that we like, because it is very dangerous. Traveling by air all the time.
But I don't think we have a problem with you.
No, there is.
I think
don't have a problem.
the
Is it a problem?
The
I am
Honorable
explaining.
Minister is responding to...
No, I'm not responding. No, I am trying to explain the procedures and the processes that are involved. Because for me, it's not about a show.
Because they have been...
My show is, I want to inform and educate, and this is my show. So allow me to do the show.
We have a new host.
So that's it. So you will find that this is what the government is doing, and we are following, and these are standard procedures all over the world. All over the world, that countries have to follow to become part of conventions, protocols, and international instruments.
I know.
That's very important. So that is why sometimes we are moving in order to do that. And the fact that we have been alienated, we have been removed from such important bodies for 22 years. We have a Herculean task to do. But I think this government has to be congratulated for the efforts that have been done within the short time that His Excellency the President signed 4 instruments in Rwanda on the CFTA agreement. It's a big pride for the Gambia, and that is why we are moving on. That needs to be understood.
Wow.
Then you have conduct and implement investment policy reforms. The key actions that we have taken there is the Gambia Investment Policy Review, which seeks to improve the investment environment, was completed, and the report presented to the partners in November 2017 in Geneva. I presented that with my technical team. My ministry is collaborating with UNCTAD to raise the funds for the implementation of the action plan. And it is those action plans that are taking on board employment, policy review, and all other forms of funding to advance the cause of youth, women, and all the critical mass in private sector. Improve access to finance. We know that there is no money in this country, and you have heard how Gambia's resources have been abused, misused, and misappropriated. You all know that.
There is money in the country.
Excuse me, I'm coming. Not money that is accessible to this government.
No, I'm not talking about government.
That's what I'm saying. There's no money in this country.
You said access to finance.
Access to finance.
I am telling you the banks have deposits. Are their deposits being used to grow an entrepreneurial base? The answer is no. But there are funds there, but unfortunately
I'm not talking about the banks. What I'm talking, you see, you are jumping the gun. I'm trying to set the context to explain to you what we are doing. You cannot go to the bank like what used to happen, bring the 4-wheel drive, and then bring $1 million 2 or 3 soldiers at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Madam,
they come and you know that, but you have to be constructively engaged with the current Gambia and the situation. I am just trying to
But we are constructively engaged.
We
are partners in development. And the way we are partners in development has to be understood.
But then what you are raising
we have
here...
to critically
I appreciate that, and that's why I am critical. I'm critical.
No. We want to critically scrutinize systems and procedures.
But the basis has to be there.
No, but hold on. Having said
that, it doesn't mean we are anti-establishment. No.
We are not anti-establishment.
I would not have come here.
We want to.
If you are anti-establishment, I will never be here.
We want to make sure that
I am also giving you the chance to be self-critical. I am giving you the opportunity. You know, this is an opportunity where the establishment is all of us, but we all have a key role to play.
Absolutely.
I want you to understand. You see, I want you to raise your critical consciousness should move a level above the people you are going to give the information. Because if you have a particular perception and you have a particular mindset or viewpoint, there is no text that is innocent. All texts are relative. And therefore, in philosophy, what you do is to sell what you want to be imbibed. And I am trying to tell you that you and I have a very critical role. The state, the government, and the media, and all other key critical actors have a role to play in their analysis of bringing out that information to the public who are very mixed, who have gone through a difficult context, but are finding it very difficult to understand why is the state so slow to do certain things for me, or why is this not happening. So you and I here and the possible. That's why I'm now sitting on this place defending and bringing to you what we have done for you to understand, so that when you go out to do, you don't go out only critically, but it has to be informed critical analysis that is going to go logically, serially, to come out to say this is the reason why this and this and this are happening. That's why I'm letting you know.
Yeah.
Now, when I say improve access to finance, and I said that there is no money, we cannot access money that has been abused and already gone, and those monies that we have not been, it's under the commission. Even if it is going to come to the government, it's not yet in our hands. You understand? And you cannot go and tell the banks, by force, this is a new government, do this. Then you are going back to autocracy.
Yeah.
It's a way that people have to really temper themselves in understanding the context that they are all coming from, and all of us are coming from there, and we all have a role to understand that, so that with the support of the mini grant scheme, we are able to support 20 youths. I'm now talking in the context of the youths. We are not even taking loans because we know it's not there. So there is a mini grant scheme. The European Union has given us support, and many other, the UN system and so on, to be able to support 20 youths with a grant of up to $47,000. If the youths go to the bank, they will tell them, give us a collateral. How many youths have compounds to give? How many youths have anything or money even to sow? What track record do they have? So we have studied them. We have understood what the situation is, and we are taking a very proactive stance to promote them and to help them find their feet and live a better living condition. You understand? The number of beneficiaries is expected to reach 100 by the end of the year. It's gradual. They have to go through due diligence process. This is what is that is what we lost. You write a note and give somebody to go and draw the money because you want to do something. It's not correct.
It's not correct.
Yeah. So we've been living it. We've seen it. So we should be conscious of that. I am very conscious of what I lived in the Jammeh regime, and therefore having the opportunity, the privilege to do so, to be a minister or to be mandated as a minister, I have a responsibility to support the democracy. So this is what I want you to understand. We all do. Yes, let's do that. We want to review the fourth aspect of our is MSEs and industrial growth enhanced. That is the small businesses, the medium enterprises that we want to, medium and small, medium enterprises we want to encourage, which are mainly dominated by Gambians, and then the growth, the industries, which some Gambians are in and some of them are not Gambians. We have to protect all of them. We have to encourage. And the MSMEs, mainly, we had to import. They have to import their goods. And if they were supplying, whilst the industries are trying to set up, now I'm coming to the letters, like the two letters you asked. They have to grow their industries. Apart from giving them the legal opportunities and the business climate environment to work, we also have to protect them to a particular level. But the MSE also are creating jobs. They are also engaged, and they are locally owned. And they get their goods before the industries are ready to produce the amount that is needed. For all these MSEs to go and buy their onions, their potatoes, and everything there, we have to open a window of opportunity for them to bring in these goods. Whilst the population, the first demand that we had, everything is expensive. Everything is not there. We are lacking this, we are lacking that. So, in essence, what I'm saying is that the medium, small and medium enterprises are in coexistence with the industries that are coming. And by the way, we have few industries in the Gambia. But that is the trend. If we want to talk about large-scale employment, we want to talk about sustainability, and we want to talk about competing outside and creating the jobs and increasing investment and increasing our financial stability, it is industries that will give it to us. But we must also recognize the fact that Rome was not built in a day. You start from somewhere and then graduate. And even whereas there are industries, small and medium scale enterprises will always be present in every country all over the world. That is what happens. Yeah. So when we took over, a lot of people, things were not coming.
Yeah.
There was a big, what we call the fear and the fact that the impasse and the crisis situation was so bad. Boats were converted or diverted to other countries to go And then the Gambia was virtually losing its supplies. The weekly supplies were very poor. It was important to build the confidence of those MSEs, write a letter and say, please bring in onions, bring in this thing, and so on and so on. And secondly, that those onions and potatoes that were coming, there was also a project that was being undertaken by the FAO, working in close partnership with the ministry, who are trying to empower women and young people, you understand, to produce onions and potatoes, to be able to develop the skills and flood the market at a particular point. So there was a window that was protecting those women and the young and those industries that are engaging those women and young people for, let's say, 6 months. And then the other 6 months, we open it to the MSMEs. They have to live together. It's a reciprocal this thing. So that's what people don't understand. And what I want to put out there was not that there was a mismatch. We knew what it was and the strategy that we were employing. But because we did not have the opportunity to talk to you, this is what is talking. This is why it is said. Yeah. And it gets to a point, anytime we are going to open the window, we have to write. Anytime we are going to open that window, we have to write to inform the importers that this period to this period, you can bring in onions and potatoes and all these essential commodities to this period. Give the notice. Then when that period is coming, you give the notice and tell the industries that this is the time you have to do this. And through that, to create that synergy and to perfect the industries and also to give them incentives. You understand? Somebody cannot come and bring, investors cannot come and bring all their resources to help support the countries in economic base and the industrial base, and then you try to, you leave them vulnerable to the vagaries of this thing. We are talking about liberalization, free markets, free borders, and so on. But there is what we call a policy initiative that is constructive to take into consideration the specific nature of the country, and that's where nationalism comes.
It's called import substitution strategies.
Yes,
I like that, so, and I hope.
Yes, that's why
it's something. You see, I always tell people, talk is cheap, and in the absence of that, does the policy reflect the aspiration? Because I look at 3 places. M.A. Harafi in Kafuta.
Yes.
By now, it should have been replicated. Radville Farms should have been replicated. And right now, my take is we need to create employment. And the quickest way we can create employment relative to this non-skill based society we have in our youth folk is to create agro-processing. And in agro-processing, I'm looking at poultry. I'm looking at other things. So now, the base that we need, we should be serious, and I think there should be a lot of mainstreaming and synergistic policy approach between you, agriculture, Ministry of Finance, so that it's not all about revenues, but you growing your industry.
It is very good that you made this analysis, and that's another narrative that goes around, which is being bandied around, which is good. It's the same way we are thinking, but it doesn't happen by just way of saying it.
I agree.
You agree with that?
Absolutely.
What it requires is the action that we are taking now. And that is maybe what we have not been explaining to the public. Hence, people will want to score some sort of appreciation of what is happening. But that's exactly what we are doing now. Because as I told you in my presentation, most of what we are doing is in consultation and in synergy with other ministries. And you can see as I present them, you know where the foreign minister falls, where the finance, where agriculture, where tourism, where professor, and so many other things. But then all this rhetoric is reminding us, and we are happy, the public is, we are very happy for that to be done. But then what I'm trying to now push is for you to understand, because sometimes these 2 letters, because you think I was trying to go, I was trying to, I want to clarify the issue of the letter and the context. Now, it is because of the fact that we have the MSC and the industrial growth enhanced. This is how the strategy that we are putting in place, so that live and let live. Then the nationalism comes in. But we also have to be guided by multilateral policies and standards. We cannot afford to be isolated. This is not everything that is good. This is not everything that is bad. You have to look at what is in the best interest of your country and be part of that. That is what the Gambia lost. And that's why I feel we should be back into the community of nations. So those 2 letters is the reason why. So that we are not doing any harm to the public. Neither are we undermining our economy. We are aware of what it is, but these are strategies that are needed in order for both industries or for both entities to survive whilst we grow our industries. And I am happy to tell you, it's not one. You have the flower industry.
Yes.
You have the, you're talking about agribusiness. We already have a lot. I'm coming back. I'm coming to that. You will see it. There's a lot that has been done. So I want people to understand that there is the process going on, and all their analysis are taken account of. The public media, the cyber warriors who are there.
But you were once a cyber warrior, man.
I am still a cyber warrior. I'm still a cyber warrior. So a TOR, to review and implement the MSME policy and action plan, a TOR for MSME mapping exercise has been drafted. The result of the mapping will be used to inform MSME policy reform. It's procedural process. National Entrepreneurship Policy and Action Plan has been completed and approved by Cabinet. I'm happy to say that. Currently, my ministry is working with UNCTAD to mobilize resources for the implementation of the plan. Through the YEP, my ministry supported 242 medium and small enterprises in different areas, including access to finance, quality training, food safety, packaging, and advice and study tour. So we're doing a lot, and we are working with not only the ministry, but we are subcontracting, we are also scoping, we are looking where the comparative advantage is in order to source it out, and those that are within our technical expertise, we do that. If we do not have it, we look for technical assistance. That is what we are doing. And then you have the the other strategy is to implement the updated industrial policy and action plan. You can see the preparations. Now is to implementation. We have completed the formulation of an industrial policy and strategy document in February 2018 that will inform everything that we are talking about, where all the relevant ministries are going to be and every key sector going in. The policy instrument is designed to give a more focused approach in implementing trade and industrial development programs in the National Development Plan. Now we are going to strengthen industry development and value addition. Now to do that, we have to do certain things, and one of the letters was in connection with that. Under the India-Africa Support Program, an incubation and vocational training center has been established to enhance value and industrial development. GTTI is being prepared. You have to implement the national standardization strategy and relevant standards. The Gambia National Standardization Strategy was validated in February. The objective is to complement the national quality policy and promote a culture of quality and standardization in the Gambia, which has not happened. Work is in progress at the Bureau, at the Standard Bureau, and they are developing the requirements of the ISO 9001 quality management system, which is a prerequisite for any certification body, or else we cannot be part of the community of nations within that. We have to follow the standards and procedures. A roadmap has been developed through guidance of an accreditation body for the eventual accreditation of the Bureau as a certification body, something that is very key for Gambia to move and compete effectively. So I want the people to understand that all these things are not to be said, be and let it be. It's not going to happen like that. You have to follow procedures, you have to do your research, you have to work with the technical people, you have to ensure that the relevant international bodies and technical know-how are there, and looking at the Gambia's context for that to happen, and we are doing that. We also, the final key aspect is the national quality infrastructure to be improved. That is, the strategy is to strengthen the national metrology system and also setting up testing laboratories for construction materials, electrical and solar products for safety and quality. So you'll find that the key actions to be taken are the calibration of the mass set in the National Metrology Laboratory, which has been renewed as required to maintain traceability by DAC. That is an accreditation calibration lab in Germany. So we are having a bilateral discussions, and also this is there. The Bureau has completed preliminary identification and budgeting of the equipment for a solar and electrical testing laboratory, so that everybody who wants to do certain tests can be there. Initial steps have been initiated at the Ministry of Lands and regional governments to secure suitable land to construct these testing facilities. So you can see the synergy between us and land, and not only that, environment also is implicated, including other relevant ministries. Now, these are the 5 key aspects that my ministry is looking at in the context of trade and the portfolios. Now, what are our flagship projects? Following the drafting of the NDP, that's the National Development Plan, we have developed the following projects to support the implementation of trade sector programs, enhancing economic growth and competitiveness. Gambia Value Chain and Export Development Project, inclusive tourism in the Gambia. Tourism is improving Gambia's trade competition through business-friendly trade facilitation reforms, strengthening the quality and food safety institutional framework in the Gambia. She trades. When I came in with my gender lens, I realized that there is a gender insensitivity in most of what is going on. And coming with that expertise and capacity, I decided to think about how do we engender trade. Because if you look at the informal sector, you look at the MSMEs, whatever in the agro-business, it's women who produce the crops. Almost 90% of the producers are women. Most of the products that are used are done by women. And it is the labor of women that are done. It is not that they don't want something, they want something, but it's the way that our society is created and how the society perceives women. And we take for granted everything that a woman does is not valued to a great extent. If you look at it, apply your gender lens, apply your critical analysis on that. We don't talk about it. These are the critical issues, I think, that needs to be carried in your critical analysis. Where do women stand? In some of these aspects, in these sectors, what do they do or what have they been doing? How can we strengthen them? To advance women's economic empowerment. This is the new thing that I have brought in.
She trades.
So you
working
want to
with the
mainstream
ITC,
gender into...
Yes, with the ITC, we have come together to identify trade champions among the women.
She trades.
She trades. Advancing women's economic empowerment, looking at the whole spectrum of all the policies from the beginning of what I told you up to where we are. We want to ensure that the economic empowerment of women, even if they are there, they are not recognized. They are not even acknowledged. If you look at it, that's a gap. And they constitute 51% of the population. That's what we call gender injustice. If we're talking about democracy, that's very important. So we have come up with a serious package on that. And inshallah, I think by the grace of the Lord, we are going to move the way we are going. And this has been accepted and approved. And the government is very much, because women are key in this dispensation. Then we're talking about rural enterprise development, revitalizing the rural economy. They also have this disadvantage. We have to do that. And the e-regulations and the e-registration projects, these are things that are coming, and these are now the new dimensions and the paradigm shift in dealing with business. So we need to prepare our population, both in the urban and rural, both educated and uneducated, because if they can touch the phone and do things, they can do certain things, taking pictures, say this is what I want to sell it, and so on, communicate. So this is these are the flagship projects that we want to do. And then the next steps, what are the next steps? Because I'm taking a very holistic approach to this process. And this is how the National Development Program for the Gambia has been developed, taking account of all the steps. It's not just putting that stochastic or picking from here, putting there like a smorgasbord. No, we are following it a systematic, because institutions have been destroyed. People talk, everybody is talking, yes, which is good. Freedom of expression, but it has to be planned, it has to be processed, it has to be...
Honorable Minister, I want to come in here. You know, we want to commend you for this presentation. It's beautiful. But one thing I want to commend you touched about the National Development Plan. Recently, we want to congratulate the government for the donor conference that was held in Brussels.
Yes.
And of course, 1.45 billion was pledged.
Euros.
Was pledged to support this development plan. But I think the government, a lot of my people, the Badibunkas and others, we are thinking you guys are carrying the money right now, and you brought it. Especially when we said, oh, President Obendung Kodo Kanale. I think, like seriously, a lot of people think you guys have brought this money already. It's here. This is why we always say it's going to be for you guys. When we sat down here last time with the Minister of Communication and said, the problem, we know there are so many things that this government is doing.
Precisely.
There are a lot of things that this government is doing. And that's why we get frustrated, because we know in our capacity being connected to what is happening. But the people out there do not know. And when they do not know, they create rumors and they say stuff. Right now, this 1.45 billion, is the topic of the town. Everyone is talking about it. But what is the government doing? The president came, the delegation came a few days ago. By now, I would be expecting that. You will be on all the radios, on all the television, in all local languages. Kodo nyi yemin foko ya dinala, manfuta nan follow. But na nata, akodi mama nala, bekela nyi project karleta, ninyi. That way, the expectations are not high again. But until those expectations are not tamed properly, you know what people will be thinking? And then you cannot stop that. Honorable Minister, this is what we are saying. I think it's important for you to look at those people and say, tell the people of the Gambia, yes, we went there on your behalf to look for these things. And for the first time in the history of this country, we have something like this, and we all appreciated it. But we need to know what out of the 1.45 is a grant, what is going to be what, and how is the money coming, at what period, and is it already here, and how is it gonna come? Is it all pledges are already something actualized? These things we need you guys to tell us. But if you don't tell us,
thank you very much.
We create news.
I think, yes, I think because in your bid to create the news, you are impatient to wait the news to meet you or to get the news.
No, Madam.
Now, let me just come to that. You have given me your analysis, and I'm very happy. First and foremost, we are celebrating, and we are happy to say that this government has done what it is supposed to do since its inception, to come up with a document that has earned credibility in the eyes of the world.
Yes.
I was privy to the meeting of the President and the European Union and other key actors bilaterally, and they said it is one of the best documents that they have had to interact with. So that's a big plus for His Excellency and the government and the people of the Gambia.
Agree.
How did that happen? It did not happen one day. It took processes, procedures. It took research, consultation, moving from one place together, putting it together, having technical committees to conceptualize, to think about it, come up with the ideas, looking at what was and what was not, and looking at the current context for that to happen, in order for us to come with such a laudable document.
Yeah.
I think
we need to congratulate the President.
We need to congratulate
and the whole entire government.
The entire government.
Yes.
And all the people who have participated to make this happen, it was a process. It was not one-off.
I know. It's a validation.
We did the validation, we did the consultation, and we had to revise to do this. We had to feed in and so on. And so on. And it came with a complete budget. If we had not done that, we would not have known what to do.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. And to be able to get that, you have to engage. And that was the engagement for the over 12 months. We were engaging. And it was by going back and forth. So that document went there and earned the respect and recognition of the international community, of all the donors and our partners, to warrant them to say, I will support you.
Confidence is there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. To get that confidence, we had to work for it and follow due process, and not to say, let's quickly do this. Let us write this. You know, everybody is telling we should do this. No, you are going to partners where you are going to work with them shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
It's on equal basis. Although our circumstances are different, we were not going there to beg. We were going there to show our situation and negotiate and discuss, so that we will be given the opportunity to move what we want and to fulfill what we have, the dream that we have and the plans we have, which is concretized in that National Development Plan. And we even had an abridged version of giving people a quick glance of what it is. Yes. And it is part of this that I have come to show you. We have been there. The preparations took a very long time, and people were engaged. Even up to now, the finance minister has not come back.
Yeah.
Aid coordination.
So we are doing a lot of things and coordinating and doing all these things. How can we come and report when we have not even come to put a small report to say? But there was a report that was sent to say that this is what. How did you get to know about the 1.45 billion euros, equivalent to 1.7 billion US dollars?
Thanks
it's
to
news.
the EU.
It's news.
But what we say, in the absence of information, the rumor mill thrives.
Yes,
and in the Gambia, the government is allowing the people to control the narrative.
No.
Instead
Sometimes
of
you are
directing
coercing the government to give you your job.
I disagree here.
Of course, because you are coming, because sometimes what you do is, I have written, when I came, it was only Monday that we came. We came on a Friday, and Friday was a public holiday. Saturday, Sunday was a public holiday. Everybody has to write your own report to do. And when is it? I'm just coming to the office on Monday, and I wrote it on Monday, and I'm looking at it on Monday. Do you know what steps I have to do? We don't have to come and give you. I know you always want to be in the air to be the first person to say.
Honestly, on a more serious note.
No, it's on a more serious note. That's what I'm saying, because you are putting us under what I call. You don't even want us. No, it's not duress. I don't. For me, I never accept that I'm put under duress. You know why? Because I have what to respond to. I can respond to what I know and what I have done. What I did not know, you cannot force me to do it.
Precisely.
You understand? And I trust that it is what I want to give you and what you need to know if you ask me, and what you ought to know that I will give.
No, but you see, that need to know and ought to know is a discretion, and it's the discretion we need to take out of governance. We have already done that. That's why we want a Freedom of Information Act.
The president's press director sent a press release.
Yes.
Did you get it?
Yes, we got it.
Thank you very much. So why are you talking?
See, honorable
you have to talk, because right now, hold on. I'm just trying. I'm not defending this.
You cannot defend.
I'm not defending them. But what I'm trying is to do is this. Let us try to be what we call.
No, honorable minister. What I was
for the right words. I'm coming. You know, we are in a very difficult situation in this country, and we also have to understand that when we come out to deliver, or when we come out to give people information, it should be information that is traceable, credible, and that is also timely for the people to know this thing. We have developed, there's a strategy already that is in place, you understand, on how this event is going to be dealt with. First was the press director sent, immediately I was sitting in there, I saw after it has been announced, 1 hour later, after the president gave his interview and everything, it was on the thing. Let us recognize those important elements to understand that now when that happens, your duty is, you want to follow up, go and see the Minister of Finance, or you are now calling me, and you have called me at the right time, because I'm coming from the National Development Plan. We are just barely less 1 week.
We called you on Monday.
It was on Friday, and you called me on Monday, and I came. And if you call any other minister, they are going to do. And now, if you want to, it's not about what you think the juiciness of the news, but the veracity of the news.
No, honorable minister, it's not. I think for me,
and there are certain conjectures.
No, honorable minister, from this aspect, what we are looking at.
Now, what we have done. Let me give you just a small
conjectures. You're talking about perception. I think
yes, that's the perception.
But
yes,
we are all here together. What we are saying
we are together.
You came.
See, honorable minister, let me tell you something. What we have now, we have never had. I think that is one thing you have to understand.
And we're grateful.
We are really grateful. The kind of information, the kind of what we are doing right now, sitting with a minister and talking like this to you. We really appreciate this environment.
Not only this aspect of the policy.
Yeah.
I am engaging in what we call development activism. This government is going into development activism because we need to reorient. We need to re-educate
and control the narrative.
And inform. No, we don't want to control the narrative.
It's your narrative.
No, that's the whole
program is your narrative.
We're in a democracy.
No. Your program is
Let me explain to you from a developmental point of view. It is not our narrative. It is the narrative of the state for the people.
For the state is the government, and a proxy of the government is you.
Yes, we are the proxies, but it's not our. We are doing it on your behalf.
Yeah, but you are the narrative.
But then we are accountable to you. Now, let me just explain the level of analysis you are engaging.
Yeah.
It is not our narrative. It is the narrative of the people, and the narrative that the government is translating into a tool.
Thank you.
You understand? To help govern its people for the benefit and best interest of its people. You understand? Now, if that is happening, because during this National Development Plan, there were quite a number of consultations that had happened. And many people even civil society organizations were there. The non-state actors were there.
Yeah.
Private individuals were there. And it was validated with a whole set of people. So nobody can actually exonerate itself from this, I believe. And to be fair also, that should be expressed and on. Number two, we are coming less than a week. But before we came out of Brussels, there was a press release that was given. That press release was given and gave at least most of the things that were done on that day. We are coming over the weekend. You understand? Over the weekend we came. There were a few ministers maybe who were interviewed. You understand? Who actually responded to what you are telling me. The perceptions cannot be stopped, and I feel it is okay. Do you know why it is okay? We are talking about freedom of expression, and people are entitled to their opinions. It is our duty.
Informed opinion.
Yes, well, that's it. That's it. It is our opinion. It is our duty to inform them.
Thank you.
You understand? It is our duty. They are entitled to their opinions. You know, I want you to understand the rim at the level I'm talking about. I'm talking in a democracy.
Yeah.
I fully understand.
Yes, we have to, when we talk about democracy, we have to also understand what are some of the principles
I'm a
and
student
practice.
of politics,
okay.
so I understand where
all
you're
right.
coming from.
Okay. So that what you need to understand is that they are entitled to their opinion and they have a right to express those opinions. As a government, it is our duty to inform them, clarify the doubts, and and make the public know. And we have to do that in a context, for example, like this, in the newspapers, in the radio, and reaching out to the communities to explain to them, or use the local languages, use the radio, which 95% of the population have access to radio. 75 have access to, 65 have access to TV. Even if they don't own it, they can visit a house or somebody in the compound has it, and they can have access. You use the various language. That is a strategy which is being laid down. Just like we did with the National Development Plan. We have just come. So I am here on behalf of the...
That's why I said, look at that Badibunka and tell them.
So that the money, what I want to explain here in connection with that is that they have to understand that when we did the plan, we had a budget and we said this is what we wanted. And we went and got so good, we got it and even beyond. That is one. Number two, we have come. It is not that the money is going to be given to Adama Barrow in a suitcase or to the Minister for Finance or Foreign Affairs or any of the ministers. This is how the system works. And I believe that at a particular stage, there are certain people who should know how it works. And those who know how it works should take the responsibility to tell the people,
But that's where you come.
What about you?
No, but your responsibility for us as a state.
But you have got it.
No. I am a secondary. No, but I'm secondary.
You see, I agree with you.
We agree, but levels of responsibility are different.
All of us have, you know what I'm trying to say?
Ministry of Information.
You see, people have to understand the Ministry of Information is the mouthpiece, but the Ministry of Information cannot speak for everybody. At times,
it's also our role as media personnel
to go after certain.
Disseminate.
To disseminate. The Minister for Law, disseminate. That dissemination.
But it's not my role.
Now that dissemination is what I am talking about. You all know that it is a matter of procedure. And when you talk about investigative journalism, or you talk about active engagement with this, you try to find out, now that this money has been promised, a pledge, and you know what a pledge is. You know what is it. So why don't you take your time to educate the public about that?
That's hibar. Lemalaka all of beyond. That's hibar. Moi suñu responsibility. Make hibar. Ligay hibar.
Why not boy def hibar gi na tegu ci yoon.
Wa dedet way tasagu na tegu ci yoon.
Joxe nañ ko way joxe nañ ko.
Come out and
joxe nañ ko dedet.
No.
Liñ jotta joxe moy.
Talking about affaire
Ami Bojang si so xam mi nekkal fi. Xaliss bi de bala def na press briefing. Joxe na press briefing bi. Man affaire xaliss bi yeen ma laaj ni. Mané len Minister of Finance nekku fi mu ngi dem mu nga nekk fële ñëwagut waaye ñëpp xam nañ ne am nañ 1.7 billion dollars diggee nañ waaw dig nañ ko loolu la ñu wax léegi dig nañ ko gis loo yéen ak maa jàngal ci loolu te kontaan naa ci waaw ngi dig ñu ko seegi dig nañ ñu ko xam ngeen ne xaalis boobu duñ ko def ci walis
waaye li nit ñi yaakaar ñu loolu lañ mënu taw wax mooy jot ngeen ndax jotuñ
duñ ko mun a wax léegi parce que waaye mun nga leen a wax ne diggee boobu noonu xaalis mooy lañ yaakaar ne dinañ ñu jox waaye xaalis bi itam suñ ko joxee duñ ko jox président bi mu téye ko ci biir walisam bi mbaa ñu jox ko Ousseynou Dabo o jox ko Amadou Sané o docteur Aïta Touré liñ ko def mooy banque laa duga dafa am kayit yoo xam ne dañ ko war a signé am dog ñu war a dogal yéen xam ngeen ko yooyu noonu war ngeen ñu cee jàppale itam pour ngeen mun a wax
am na solo loolu
am solo soo moo tax man la liggéey bi du ñun kenn rek liggéey bi ñun ñëpp ko bokk ñun ñëpp ko bokk waaw léegi li ma miin moo tax man la dañ am pour réorienter suñ attitude gis nga change bi la am du Adama Barrow kenn du man kenn du political party kenn yi ñëpp a ko def te loolu Adama wax na ko ci ay anam yu bari te yéen ci seen boppa bañ nañ ko ba def léegi lan the seventh thing mooy region is the diaspora Why? Nañ fair to the state, why? To the government. Yeah. For the fact that ne def nañ lolu bon nga xamne ñepp lañ jox ñukal. Buñ la joxé ñukal nak war nga ci jël sa wala.
Ñun nak definitely nak ñu ngi leena gërëm.
Seen wala moy lan?
Ñu ngi leena gërëm definitely nak fu ñu
tok leen gisé seen boppa ne ay ci bor ngeen ne ka ñun ñoo yéna ko bokka.
Honorable fu ñu tok ne dañ ko lay wax.
Li nga bokka do xaar ñu la ci bor.
Yéna bon nak féké ma ci
féké ma ci bolé. Honorable dama bëgg ñu honorable recently baxna sa li ñu wax ci local language.
No, let's go ahead because
honorable why be mom this part I think is important ñu def ko ci Wolof ak recently gis nañ yi fi commodities yi prices sa katuma ci wéri té da gi nekk ni bagage yi cher nañ génn ngeen wax ne nit ñi war nañoo xoolaat am na waxtaan bi ngeen def ak liggéeykat yi pour ñu am toppa sarta yooyu loolu fan la toll
kontaan naa trop bi ma laajee loolu
waaw
foogoon naa ne moom nga ma waroon a njëkk a laaj sax
non boobu dama
waaw li xew mooy ba tey rek su ma waxee nit ñi dañoo ne waa nit ñi sonn nañ ci dégg wax waaye ba yaxi Yaya Jammeh Yaya daf fi bàyyi tafaar yu rëy
mënuñ see sonn sax
mënuñoo wax dara ci third republic te tudduñ ko parce que lu nekk sabab la
waaw
nekkoon nañ ci anam yoo xam ne kenn du ñemeñ a ngang sax bu fekkee ne ñu ngi laa rëy même buñ la ne demal rëy nit da nga koo rëy yéen gis ngeen ko xam ngeen te du yoon teguñ ko ci yoon léegi ñëw nañ itam fekka mbir yaa ngi seer lu nekkaa ngi naxari biñ ñëwee li njëkk nit ñi njëkk a jooy askan wi li njëkk a jooy waa bagage yi seer nañ business bi baaxatut ak loolu noonu tarif bi dafa seer ñu toog waxtaan cabinet ministre si cabinet ak Adama suñ président bi ñu waxtaan seet ne lan mooy ak technical people yi ne lan la ñu njëkk a def pour ñu saafaral mbir mi pour nit ñi mun a am loo xam ne dinañ ci mun a alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin dégg la génn nañ ci torox bi ak tolof yi waaye léegi li ci des naka la ñoo defee suñu dunda gi ak naka la ñoo demee ñu toog seet xam nañ ne lu nekk dafa am chain connection la ñu ne xaaral ñu seet tarif yi parce que soo waxee di ñu ne dafa seer boo ooyee ñiy jaay ñu ne la déedéet tarif bee seer dañoo fay tarif lii lañ dee def wan la isil la ay receipt si du jeex bañ ko isee ñu seet ko te muy dégit ñu seet ko ñu ne dinañ seet naka lañ mun a jàppee yàlla aaye suñ boppa aaye yenn yi pour gis ne ñiy jaay mun nañoo dugal bagage yi le ba nga xam ne bu ñëwee suñ génnee na tarif dina leen mun a dimbale ba nga xam ne loolu tam dina wéccu buñ ko wàññee ñoom tam dinañ wàññi seen jaay mi loolu def nañ ko te gis nga li tax démocratie neex ñun jóguñ rek def décision
waaw
after bu ñun as a cabinet as a government talk ak suñ technical people ñu liggéey biñ liggéeyee ñoom ba pare ñu advice ñu xam ni ñoo doxalee génnee tarif yi binda leetar def lu nekk wax nañ ko ñëpp yëg ko te biñ koo def dañ leen ooyaat ne leen kaay leen dañ doon di ginnandikoo di déggoo ak déggoo boobu def nañ ko lu dem ba ñetti yoon ba ñeneenti yoon ñuy ñëw suma ministre ñuy isi all the relevant units ñuy ñëw yenn yi sax dama ko télévise pour rek transparency bi ma ko télévisé ma ne leen léegi nit ñi xam nañ loolu te dinañ ensone institution si nga xam ne ñoo war a apply loolu noonu dinañ ko def tarif si te génnee nañ ko ñoom ci seen boppa ñu ooyaat leen laaj leen ñu ne waaw léegi ñu ñëw laajte pour ma suma seen suma gars yi ne leen seet leen ñu ne bagage yi wàññee ko wut ñu am toog oo leen balaa ñoo def anything ci radio bi dañ oo ñiy jaayante ak jëndat bi ak ñiy import export ñiy import ñu oo leen ñu ne leen lii moo xew ñoom ñëpp ñu wax ñu ne leen léegi dañ bëgg a pour ñu wàññi lii ñu def lii def la li ñoom ci seen boppa ñun ñoo toog ba waxtaan won leen research leen ko based on evidence won leen ko bañ gis ko
waaw
ñu ne leen léegi lii lañ ko bëgg a def ñun ñëpp xam nañ ne lii du roy kenn te ñoom yi neen ñoo doon jox dañ leen doon déglu di ko sonte yëpp ñu ngi ko téeb suñ ko playité ñun ñëpp dañ ko gis te niñ toogee nii parce que ñun suñ nguur gi amut nu
leer rek
noonu lañ jëlee mbir mi ñu ñëw announce ko yof ko ci news bi yónnee ko ci TV bi jox ko pop media bi nit ñi ñu demaat après ñu ne amul ñu ooyaat leen def nañ ko ci ay commodities yu bari weeri koor wi ñëw ma ne xaaral ma use context bi because xam nga bëgguñu jaay doole
waaw
ñoom xam nañ ne ñun ñoo ñëpp ñu ni neen dañ jógee ci lu miiti bon ñu ni neen ñoo war a déggu pour jàppalante yi am yërmande gis dëkk bi dimbale suñ boppa alaaw ñu buñ xalaat big profit nay leen ñu xalaat profit bu ndaw def profit bu ndaw ba bañoo génnee di soxaleku dinañ move waaye institution fii liñ fekka dafa métti ba nga xam ne ñun ñëpp ku nekk da nga am pour aye sa boppa dara pour nga gis ne yëf yi dox nañ léegi weeri koor bi jot ñu wax leen ak yooyu noonu même borka démba bi ma demee pour jëndi mbuuru xam naa ne Banjul ci suma information ne adopt nañ $6 bread Serekunda adopt nañ $6 bread biir Kaama man maa yónni suma liggéeykat bi ne ko demal jëndali ma mbuuru $7 la loolu gi bi ma ñëwee dama ne wax suma gars yi dem leen biir Kaama ngeen den seet la fa nekk nit ñi wax ne lu nekkaa seer moo tax bagage yi seer léegi ñu wàccee tarif bi mënut a wàcce ci nit ñi nguur gi lu ci am lu nga xam ne nguur gi def na li mu def gis nga lii moo dee tax ñun nit ñi ñun ñoo dee créer dictateur loolu laa bëgg a wax nit ñi dégg ñun ñooy créer parce que lu nekk xel a koo doxal suñ ne ñu ngee seet suñ coobare bakkan rek du dem toogaay biñ toog dafa diis te tàngana waaye dama xam ne ñun ñoo ko xeex ñu ne ataleen ñu jàppa ñu jéemu ko ba génnee soxali suñu réew mi jàppale Adama Barrow bon nag ku nekka apart from unit si ak département si individual si itam dañ am rôle pour play jaayantu ak yooyu léegi def nañ ko ni ma waxee yéen tey yaakaar naa ne ëllëg sax président maa ngi oo gaayaati pour waxtaan ak ñoom ci démocratie lañ nekka nekkut ne mënuñ cee def dara waaye bëggu ñoo def Yaya Jammeh style ñoom nag moral suwe ba pare dañ am pour respect seen boppa xam ne dëkk bi ñun ñëpp a ko bokka te yi nguur gi génn yi mënoon na ko faa taaj parce que xaalis bi moo doon diggaral nguur gi waaye dañ ko sacrifice bàyyi ko pour askan wi ñuy jaay ñu oyofal leen ko ndax li ñoo def mu dem ci kanam ca kanam tuuti dinañ seet ni ñoo doxalee ñu réguler waaye miti na de te nit ñi ñaa bu ëllëgee li ñoo wax waaw nguur gi lii nguur gi lali nañ ñu seet foog naa ne sax bu dul dara sax weeri koor yi waroon naa tas sax ñu respect nit ñi te bañ koo def seen njiiti yëpp lañ kool taaj leen
waaw gis nga li ma fi dégg daf ma neex
waaw
waaye dafa am lu ma bugg a xam dik te this lady is a domineering lady she takes over she takes
waaw akañ
asembo warata
sañ akañ
altole sembo warata
léegi bés dina jot ma dégg président Isatou Touray
akañ dadi foofu waaw
leenaa ci nekk nag
bugga nga nekk président
leena laa laaj leena laa waxal yaa ngi dégg gis nga njiit yàlla ko dee joxe ba ma ko buggee génn naa ñu bokkoo bennoo seet li gën ci réew mi ñu def ko ñu tànn Adama Barrow taaj ko fa Adama doy na ma
bugga nga nekkaat su élection amatee di nga jóg
nañ xaar bi booba
waa doog 3 years la ndax 5 years la waa doog balaa maa ñu waa 3 years la ndax 5 years la doog
ma ne pour ma laa wax loolu
saa yoon nga de waaye yow loo saa yi
xam nga li xew li xam nga li la bëgg a wax waaw gis nga nit ñi dañoo li ñoo wax ni ci démocratie ak li ñoo wax ne lii ak loolu noonu la gis nga constitution bi mooy di supreme laws of the
waa de docteur
balo ma maa ngi ñëw rek may leen ma
ok
constitution bi mooy di supreme laws of the Gambia pour ma mutalee rek ne la doylu naa Adama doylu naa ko nekk président te dinaa ko toppa ba di mel tam jeex loolu laa bëgg a wax
yow loo sign
yaa ngi dégg man signing bi doesn't matter parce que Gambia dafa nekkoon man li ma believe 5 years
waa li nga sign
5 years
waa yow loo sign
5 years boobu noonu moom la Adama war a toog
waa yow loo sign
because loolu la constitution bi wax pare wu ñoo dugg ci constitutional crisis
yaa ngi dégg man fii laa bokk wala loolu dadi
man dégg ma gis nga
man si 5 years ñun amul sa xaalis pour def élection ñaari yoon
dama fa ne loolu la sax
ñun sax 5 years
loolu la constitution bi laaj te loolu lañ war a doxal loolu lañ war a seet nit dina wax yeena yi fekk circonstances yi dina tax ba nga ne xaaral ñu def lii rek ñu am liñ bugga yaa ngee dégga waaye buñ demee ba ca dégga ba ba war a teg sarta yi sarta bi ngaa toppa te sarta yooyu noonu la ñoo toppa man pour man su ngeen ko seetloo sarta yooyu noonu man dama ko yàgga di advocate te gom naa ko te Adama Barrow itam maa ngi koo encourage pour mu taxaw pour 5 years yi constitution bi moom la laaj
5 years daal
5 years moo ko moom
waaye ñu loolu lañ bëgg a de waaye su jeexee dama bëgg a xam ndax di nga ñëwaat man sa candidature dafa neexoon de borom bale bi
ñun jigéen ñi suñu candidat
xam nga tax ñu génn man dama ñëwoon pour
jox nit ñi
xam nga man njëkkaa bi la bloc ci yow
waaw pour chef dëkk bi ak ba pare pour njaxlafloo nit ñi ñu génn si pour ñu gis yut si ak jigéen ñi ak ñi nekk ci biti ak effort si ngeen def pour ma ne ñu dem pour ma dëgëral nit ñi ñu ñëw so pour loolu pour man man suma objectif dama ko achieve ba pare pour génnee dictateur bi génn na.
docteur am nañu
ajuma bés boobu Kairaba Hotel fekk si la fa. duma ko fàtte moom.
xam naa
ñoo uyu si la benn waaye liñ bëgg a xam ndax war nga gannaaw politique dégg
li ma def nii is development politics.
déedéet politique bi ma wax xam nga ko.
déedéet man xaw ma ko de. parce que
politique toogu bi jeexal nga ci.
ban toogu ci naka
toogu ba.
toogu bi any Gambian kan si.
yow mi
sax mun nga ko man mun naa ko aw ma ko léegi yow boo ko amee jël baax na Adama ko amee nag war na leen ñu topp Adama. ñu topp Adama.
waaw docteur nit ñi daal ñu ne si sa wax yëpp saa yu nekk soo waxee rek nga ne luñ fi fekkoon luñ fi jëloon Yaya Jammeh. whatever saa yu ñu waxee rek ñun foog ñu make reference to Yaya Jammeh because of bad governance bi mu fi def. waaye dëkk bi nit ñi fan yi ñu ne daal Yaya Jammeh ngeen bugg a porox ndoolu ci nguur gu gees gi lu nit ñuy wax ñu ne tukki yi bari nañ délégation yi bari nañ padiyam yi seer nañ ñu ne yéen da ngeen ne bi ngeen ñëwee fekku leen fi dara léegi ku fi fekku dara ñuy gis padiyam of benn trip rek ay 500,000 pour padiyam rek ticket ñëwut ak leneen su dee benn ministre bu war a tukki ñu war koo fay government bi war koo fay $1 million si expenses si tukkee moom moo délégation am docteur loolu jaaxal nañu tuuti ma bugg rek nga indi leeral si loolu dëgg la war nañoo tukki dañ bugg a bokk si international community bi bugg nañoo delluwaat si international arena bi waaye is it possible ne this government can cut cost ba ñu taxaw fu ñu war a taxaw loolu Gambien si jooy nañ ko sakatuma si instant bi ñu nekk nii.
laajte bi ngeen def nii ci mbiri tukki bi.
waaw
ak padiem yee travel yee délégation yee tickets yee padiem yi. lu ngeen war a laaj la.
waaw
ci démocratie lañ nekk. am ngeen right pour laajte ko itam.
waaw
waaye itam baax na ñu leeralal leen ci. comme ni ma leen ko waxee rek foog naa bu ngeen toppee waxtaan bi la ñu nekk di def nii. laalal naa leen yu bari ci document bi national development plan bi la. ak man suma ministre rek li moo def lii benn rek la lu tuuti la tip of the iceberg nga xalaat yeneen secteur si nekk ci dëkk bi yépp li ñu war a def pour soxali réew mi
waaw
boo gisee ñuy use context même booy def literature sax booy binda sa thesis da nga am pour def literature review pour xam naka nga mun a doxalee ak yow naka nga war a mun a xandulee li nga bëgg a yokk ci xam-xam bi o li nga bëgg a yokk ci dem kanam gi ne yow lii mooy sa contribution foo jaar wala xam ni ñeneen ñi def ak ni mu daan doxee lii nag wanewuma waaye dama foog ne borom xam-xam yi ak ñi nga xam ne def nañ degrees ak ñi nga xam ne def nañ research work ñooñu xam nañ li maa wax parce que balaa ngaa mun a jóg pour ne maa ngee wax on certain things o maa ngee jël taxawaay bi ci lii da nga war a xam ñeneen ñi la fa jiitu lan lañ def ko fe nag di nga xam li nga waxtaan di nga xam li ngaa gis ba pare ne may tam yoon bii laa ko bëgg a jëlee pour yokka ci loolu moo xew ci mbir yaaya moo tax fu ñu jaar wax yaaya
kay
ndik ku boot bu ki xaj boobu la li xew li ñàmbat ku dee rek yaa tàgge sa bopp di leen yëgal ne leen ñëw nañ Gambia bu fekkee ne dañ war a doxal nguur dañ ko war a doxalee ni mu waree standard nguur dafa war a am ni moo doxee dafa am ni moo war a dañ ko war a tiralee ak dafa am yoon ak sarta yoo xam ne moom lañ war a toppa ma yëgal la li nga laajte nii man lañ ko njëkk a sas ne Isatou dafa tukki rek duy wax kenn du koo dégga yëga naa ko riit naa ko ci social media bi ñu ma naan man ma every minute du ma toog lu nekk la ñoo wax waaye soo xamee li ngaa def foo jaar njaxlaf ci te soo ci njaxlafut te nit ñi yaakaar la te président bi daf ne moo fàttali leen leena biñ àndee moom daf ne man maa yéen ñëpp ñoo bokk nguur gi waaye man ragaluma munuma yëpp waaye am naa ñu ma boot ñoo xam ne ñu ngi ci sama ñu ngee man ragaluma dafa tax ragaluma say su li ma mun lay def yéen tam li ngeen mun ngeen def ko rek ba ñu yóbbu Gambia pour man loolu loo xam ne la dafa important parce que docteur Isatou Touray nga am yeneen lawyers yi nga am experts yi political activists yi ak yëpp ku nekk fa everybody with your own nomenclature and this thing ñun suñ ko jàppale wut suñ taxawut def li mu war àddina si jooy ñu comme ni ñoo jooyee yaaya loolu naka la mun a amee ñu ngi ñoo fekk nguur gi génnee nañ ko ci mboolem loo xam ne moo tax ñu war a bokk ci yeneen nguur yi pour ñu ne Gambia is a sovereign state nation state ñu ngi war a bokk WTO ñu ngi war a sign CFTA that is just suma ministry laa waxal. ñu ngi war a def di TFA ñu ngi war a def di ETLS ñu ngi war a def SIRT ñu ngi war a def yu bare war a def policies ak yu bari nekkaatuñ ci dara ñun pariah state lañ woon. bokkuñ benn boor te ñi nga xam ne ñun ñoom ñoo ko seexloo ñun ñoo may demandoor ñu dañ am pour dem di ñëw dañoo ñëw ñuy dem te dinaa la yëgal ni la. padiem yooyu noonu ngaa dégg yenn sax duñ ko dee téye suñ demee ba ñëw lañ ñu ko dee fay. waaw bu fekkee ne nguur gi moo koo fay comme li nga wax rek li ëppa dañ ñu dee sponsor pour dimbali Gambia yërmande àddina si ubbee seen loxo dama bëgg nit ñi déglu ni àddina si ubbee seen loxo yërmande bi ñu yónnee xaalis na leen dinañ sponsor this minister dinañ sponsor this unit dinañ sponsor this section yenn sax dañoo ne dinañ sponsor section si yëpp waaye nguur gi yéen a war a fayal ministre yi te ministre ba su fa nekkul du dem technical people itam dafa am liggéey bu ñu war a def. soo pour jógee fi dem ba Rwanda jógee fi dem ba Nairobi jógee fi dem ba Mali mbaa beneen boor mbaa fële ECOWAS suñ unit si ECOWAS headquarters yi ak yooyu noonu bu fekkee ne ñoom fayal nañ about 15 nit suñ technical people yi ñu neen léegi da ngaa war a ministre bi dafa war a ñëw ak permanent secretary fu mu jaar ngeen contribute dara waaye ndimbal na ca fekk loxo borom xaalis bi ngeen a tudda nii in millions of dollars li ñoo wax yaa ngi dégg it's all about bringing in the billions li Gambia am tey suñ génnu toon di daw di dem man as a human rights activist a human rights defender xamoon naa li Yaya doon doxal ni mu doon doxalee soo man su fekkee ne yàlla taaj na ma ci place boo xam ne dama war a contribute pour salvage contribute under the leadership of Adama Barrow man dama koo def li ma xam ak li ma mun su ma munut ma àndaa ñi ko xam ak mun ko ñu jàppalante génnee dëkk bi ci loolu lañ nekka looloo tax recently maa ngi gis ñaari lettre yoo xam ne am na ko jël ci système bi xaw ma kana ko yónnee ay nit ñi ñu ngi ko gis mu ngee wër benn bi 500 waaye seetal how many people are benefiting from that travel this expense dana ngeen bëgg ñu dem ngaan suñ boppam itam ñu nekk Vegas même ba tey Vegas lañ léegi yaa ngee dégga pour dem te soo tukkiwut doo mun a def ci négociation sooyu tukki yi ñu doon dem di daw di dem moo tax am keroog Gambia dañu recognize in Rwanda président bi sign na ñeneent foreign minister bi sign na yu bari ñun ñëpp ku nekk ngee sign pour bring back Gambia looloo tax gars yi ñëpp sawar am confidence pour jox ñu 1.7 billion dollars so askan wi na ngeen xam ne lu nekka da nga am pour liggéey nga am ci pour def ci sa doole ak def li nga ci mun pour mu mun laa jural lu rëy looloo taxoon ñuy dem te ngeen dimbale ñu yor respect seen ñi ngeen yaakaar jiital leen ngeen jox leen cër dafa important parce que ñaata lañ laa fay ticket bi it's not coming to your hands travel lifin bi it's not coming to your hands padiet bi ñu laa jox soo demee hôtel bi jox la 280 ñu ne la nga fay $250 $30 moom ngaa dundee ministre nga fay ko mu jeex doo ci mun a def sax hospitality pour mun a am side meetings pour mun a dugal pion loolu ministre si fi nekkee mun nañ la koo wax yéenay suñ doom yi ñoom lañ dee call ne leen please siphon ma $500 mais ma $200 liggéey yi ñu ngee xosul ñu yónnee ñu su ngo li yàlla xam doy na nit ñi bàyyi wax mun ngeen a wax waaye na leen leer leetar yooyu noonu ñi leen koo yónni ñoo nekk ci système bi di yaaxa
yow honorable minister loolu mooy
loolu noonu aayut nag waaye nag is breach of confidence
loolu laa bëgg a wax
suñ ko xamee nag seeni borom waruñ faa toog ñooñu ñoo jar a génne
honorable minister loolu laa foofu laa bëgg a ñëwee
ñoo jar a génn
honorable minister foofu
ñooñu ñoom lañ war a génn mbaa nga toog ci kaw der di xas yàppa yow nga nekk ci ministre bi mbaa nga nekk ci lifin di liggéey ci système bi yow yaa ngee liggéey ñu ngi laa fay yaa ngee tukki ngay ñoo dem di toog di wax bu jàmbur yi di yaaxa mbaa ngay dem di complot ñeneen ñi di yaaxaturi président bi di yaaxaturi ministre si di sabotage suñ programme si sooy joxe information doo joxe bi picco bi lu may wax leen ne leen waaw lii moo xew tey ñu social media bi moo tax nag nekk waaw loola gis nga nag xam nga li xew gis nga danga ko doon kaaw ci gis nga man am suma discourse yéen xam ngeen ma dama doon deal with female genital mutilation early marriage women's rights sexual exploitation yooyu yëpp dama ko doon def soo nekkee ci askan woo xam ne understanduñ da nga am pour leeral sa mbir waaye soo ne yaa ngee waxte leerul du dem yaa ngee dégg so lii nii moo tax ministres yaa ngee tukki suñ tukki wut duñ mun a sign protocole si duñ ñu mun a interroger te duñ mun a contribute to policy document te duñ mun a bokk benn nit ñi bi àddina si yëpp ñëw di ñu dimbale di ñu yokka
waaw ñun romb nañ loolu léegi li nga wax léegi li nga mujjee wax
lii dafa am solo
waaw transformation boobu mu ngee xew
docteur lii dafa am solo
ñiy yaaxaw liggéeyu
lii ne nga nekk si système di jëlee kayiti nguur nga koy joxe ci biti loolu dafa am solo docteur loolu la ñoo wax
niñ meloon démba dañ jël seen jikko yooyu indi ko ci biir nguur gi
moom lu am waaw loolu lañ bëgg waaye léegi li xew nag loolu laa la bëggal gis nga ba ngaa wax man gis naa la te am naa la bi ngaa wax loolu waaye li tax ma bëggal dama la doon remind ni la ci démocratie lañ nekk xam naa nit ñi dañu ne démocratie bi moo yàq yëpp démocratie bi yaaxut yëpp da yaaxut gis nga bu fekkee ne ñu ngi jógee ci foo xam ne lu neex waay def lu waay neex def doole lañ doon jaay ku am connection mbaa nga jege mbaa nga mun a fen ci waaji rek moom ngaa yoo yaay xaritam mun ngaa def li la neex looloo doon xew yaa ngee dégga soo ñi ragal ne xaaral man ma jàppa suma bopp o ma def li ma join dem yaa ngee dégga soo léegi li ma la bugg a wax li tam may den de remind of loolu the democracy bi respect ak recognize and freedom of expression bi ak effort si ñoo def pour wecci nit ñi parce que jikko la jikko daf dee change waaye da nga am pour orienter dañ am to orient suñ boppa man I was in the NGO sector very high standards soo ko deful doo survive waaye bi ma ñëwee ma gis lii dama am pour tampa suma boppa down and I work with the technical people pour ñu reinforce what are the basic principles yaa ngi dégg those basic principles yooyu la ñoo apply moo tax ñu def all this progress te ñoom tam they are highly trained they know even though ñu ngi nekkoon in a very difficult context waaye ñun ñëpp dañoo unlearn that type of experience bi am ci yaaya ba mu foog ne dara doxatut lu neex nit rek loolu ngaa def dina jël time pour mu génn waaye mu ngee génn mu ngee change soo duñ jékkee-jékki rek ñoo ne ñu ngee daanu ci ko permanent secretary si nekk fii yëpp directeur si yëpp dañ war a génn déedéet waaye it's a case by case ba pare ñu seet naka laa demee ba pare dangaa use yardstick pour seet naka nga ko demee ane benchmark pour si da ngaa demee lii yëpp ñu ngi koo gis
waaye civil service reform yàkkamti nañ ko
ñu ngee def nag reform bi itam dafa am nu moo demee ñu ngi ko boole nañ ko soo gisee documents yi ñu ngee def reforms te dina am waaye da nga also fam ne that you have to also protect the rights of the individual
absolutely
and you also have to allow the due diligence and procedures to follow yaa ngee dégg dama am appealing to everybody xam naa bor bu set maa ngee wax ak kii binda PMO ki binda suma leetar bi yaa ngee dégg pour ñu ñëw arrest ma jox ko NIA yi every day maa ngee toog di ko xool di liggéeya moom and I know that ñu bari mu ngi am waaye xam nga lu ma xam nga lan moo ma soxal process due diligence process where time bi nga xam ne moom ba lifin ñu follow procedures policy ak yooyu noonu and it is affecting a lot boor bu set ñu saaga président bi boor bu set ñu def lu nekk ñu ngee wax ku nekkaa ngee def li la neex jikko la waaye dina change waaye bëgguñoo use force enforcement or na ñu ngee def punitive measures we are very conscious of the president bi dafa conscious of that te loolu neex na ma ci moom.
Honorable Minister, final questions waxtu bi jeex na tey moom yaa jël si show bi yëpp waaye Honorable Minister fi nga daaneel rek laay jël as a victim yourself and so many cabinet members ñoo xam ne victime lañ de Ousseynou Dabos de Dr. Isatou Touray de almost all cabinet members ñoom OJ ñëpp victims lañ of former president ñoom Amadou Sané finance minister bi gis nga victims yu bari fii dañ feel ne fooguñ ne nguur gi dinañ leen indil justice gis nañ recently Ghana seen 44 citizens yi nga xam ne ñu ngi leen reyoon fii ñu ngi jël steps yu gaaw pour ut naka la ñoo mun a defee pour indi Yaya Jammeh to book yéen let's say the whole cabinet is a victim yan specific assurance nga mun a jox Gambians yi la seetaan ne dégga this government is committed to bringing justice to victims of Jammeh.
Question bi day danga ko laaj waaye question bi answer na boppam and is a living witness. Ghana ma njëkkee ci Ghana. Ghana could not have done that without the ousting of Yaya, and who ousted the Yaya is this government. You see, people have to understand processes that are leading to one action to another to be able to move a critical stage. That's what every day lola they remind nit Ghana ñu ngi laajte, but they cannot do it without the Gambia. And mu toona am bu fekkoon ne changes amut. And they could not have done it buñ amutoon commission bi. Yaa ngi dégg. And the commission boobu noonu revelations also has led to Ghana taking a proactive stance. Lu tax yaa Ghana demutoon court bu yàgga. Buñ demoon court itam lu tax action. Damaa jox rek exemple. So that has to be understand the procedures moo am. Loolu ñu teg ko, it is not without the participation of this government.
Okay.
Te su ngeen ko seetloo liñ promise on public bi mooy manifesto bi dafa wax ne dinañ teg a truth and reconciliation commission dinañ def a commission of this thing on Yaya's finance and his partners and so many other things they are all now taking place te na nga fàtte ne resources moo ko taxawal
dañoo yàkkamti rek
bi nga waaw yàkkamti boobu noonu nag wax jooju noonu nag du ñàkk de moo tax ma ne dama dee wax man always xam nga lan moom lan laa de dama ko dee gisee as a platform to see what the thinking of the people because li ñoo wax loolu lañ feel ak loolu la ñoo xalaat so dina mun a géej ne waaw we are on the right track ndax du noonu so ñu ngee def commitment bi ak conviction bi is very clear and glaring bu fekkee ne biñ jeexee ma dem jël paaka mbaa ma jël banta mbaa ma jël kur dem ne maa ngaa dóori ñi ma doon tocco will it work? keneen ñëw ñu def ko dinañ agsi fii so dama doon appeal to the public na leen ñu àndaa sago àndaa xel te sant yàlla changes bi la xew ñun ñëpp ñoo ko xeex ba ci xale yu ndaw yi dañ ci taxaw soo seetlee ci vidéo xale yi sax dañ doon wax ne yaa demal yëpp ñun ñoo ko xeex bon nag yàlla dimbale ñu def ci dooleem àndaa ñun def ci kàttanam ñu dem mu dem rayante amut yaaxu amul dara amut ba ñu fekkee lu yaaxu moom la ñoo jëkkar ba ñuy déglu wante di def yooyu noonu li ci des dina ñëw ñaar fukki at a ñaar li ci yaaxu rëy na te bari na naka lañ ko mun a doxalee mooy ñu demee ko xel àndaa sago use xam-xam use xel jël ñëpp déglu leen ñu dem nit ñaa ngee fanaana ñi nga xam ne ñoo leen boole bañ rey seen jëkkër yi nit ñaa ngee àndaa ñoo xam ne lépp yëpp xam nañ ko waaye nag dañ war a delloo yàlla njukkal mooy lan ñu am yërmande justice dina am justice moom Adama Barrow wax na leen ko président bi his excellency wax na leen ko yéen a ngi koo dégg ci minister for justice yéen a ngi koo dégg ci everybody ku nekkaa ngi wax waaye duñ jóg ne ñu ngee daanu parce que yow su fekkee ne dama tasee yow because maa ngi nekkoon ci beneen boor bi maa ngi nekk opposition yow nga nekk ci boor yaaya su ma tasee yow sax doo ma faale yow ma ñëw ne maa ngi ma ne maa ngi feeku ci loolu dinaa ñëw fii defuloo ma ko daal am just give you example so lii laa waxal noonu so buñ toppantee yooyu rek Gambia dina tas bon ñu yàlla delloo yàlla njukkal ñu àndaa xel àndaa sago lii yàlla def nii loxo ma nekk ci wécceeku bii nekk ci réew mi dinañ def li ñu war teg ko ci kaw sarta teg ko ci kaw yoon doxal ko te buñ demee ba nga xam ne dox na yéen a ngi gis Ami Bensouda ak commission Jaane commission bi ak ñi ñoo liggéeyee due diligence ñu ngee oo nit ñi ñu ngee ñoo ngee def jóg di liggéey li fi di liggéeyi yaa ngee dégga liñ xam ak liñ def ak liñ mun loolu la ñoo confirm ak yeneen li ci des yoon bi mooy lifin so Gambien si dañ war a laan pour patient suñ patientu dinañ yaaxa suñ boppa te gis nga change bi su fekkee ne raw nañ ñu te mën a duñ ko properly billahi yàlla duñu baalal waaye ñu nag ñaan yàlla delloo ko njukkal demee xel demee sago xam ni ñoo doxalee mbooleem ku tooñ yàlla moo xam ki tooñ te mooy gis te loi bi taaje ak commission si la taaje dina leer nañ ku nekk li nga def billahi ku defut dara jotut la kera ba ma yaa dugalee ci kaso ba ñu ñëw pare pour rey si billahi xamoon naa ke rek ne du ma dee parce que xam naa ne liñ ma teg amut liñ teg Ami Bojang amut politically motivated case la woon te yàlla moo tax ba ma jógee pour bokka ñi bugg a génnee yaaya yàlla defal ñu jaama man kontaan naa sant naa yàlla di sant gërëm yàlla doyloo suñ président bi ñun ñëpp ñu jàppale ko moom la yàlla jiital ñun ñëpp ñu jàppale ko foog kenn mooy jiitu ñëpp a bugga waaye kenn rek mooy jiitu suñ amee ngóom googu te yàlla jox ko rek ñun dañ ko war a toppa jàppale ko te pare naa pour jàppale ko tey ba ëllëg te dinaa ko taxaw li ma am ci xam-xam bu tuuti bi dinaa ko doxal parce que Gambie bi maa moom a ko bokka ñun ñëpp ñu bokk ko su baaxee baaxut pour Adama Barrow ne baaxut man ñun ñëpp la baaxal bon nag ku ci nekk wecceeku bi lay am nii dama leen a ñaan ñu am benn kenn ne jamono ji moo xew nay leen ñu gindandi ko mayante xel te bañ a ne ñu ngi bokk ci mbir mi nit ki def suuf te lii lañ gis démocratie bi nag dafa am pour fii ku nekk am nga sa right fu la neex nga nekk lu la neex nga def ko su fekkee ne dugut yàqut sarta nit ñi yàqut sarta nguur gi waaw loolu moom lu leer la te président bi def na ko ba mu leer am na yu bari nit ñaa ngi koo def léegi wallahi dañ dee laaj seen bopp ndax li mënoon naa koo def dañ laaj seen bopp moo nag may leen ñu àndaa sago àndaa xel ñu itam suñ xel mi mu ngi fa ñun ñoo xeex génne ko fa ñu won leen ne mun nañ koo def ñun ñoo yéene ko war a def nag parce que yéen ñëpp a ñu jàppale ni ko noonu duñ doon gañete bay ñoo toog so loolu laa bëgg a wax askan bi di bàllu aaxa nag su fekkee ne wax naa dara loo xam ne naxari na nit wax neexut waaye opportunité la itam pour wax leen ne lii nii moo war a xew ministre si di ñëw di wax journaliste yi ak media houses yi di génn si di laajte questions ñuy leeralante ba nga xam ne xëj na xalaat yi ñoon am te leerut leen mbaa ñi dee netaal suñ leetar yi di leen ko woon te leeraluñ ko léegi mu war a leer bu ko fa nag bara mu ne am naa fetel bi am na léegi xaaral ma dem sànni ji suma bal fekk bal ba ngaa sotti ndox la ci boromam tey man lii ngeen ma laaj ñii ndox la ci man li ma leeral fu ngeen ko mun di seetoo ci ministre bi demee ko beneen boor noonu la tëddee te kontaan naa ngeen baalal ma aaxa nga ni ministre si génn si na yeneen technical people itam ñeme parce que yéenay dañ dee daw media bi ñun nag yàgg nañ di def yi waxtaan yi an dinaa fi del si waat maa suma technical people yi pour ñu jàngal askan wi ñu waxtaan ak yéen dafa nekk ne lu nekk soo koo def da nga koo teg ci kaw ay sarta binda sa concept note def sa stratégie def lan nga bugg a wax ak lan nga bugg a askan wi jot ba nga xam ne suñ ko jotee yow li ngeen leen a jox su ngeen ñëwatee ñu mun leen a laaj waaw yaa fi waxoon lii ak lii moo xew nga mun leen a tontu xam nga lu nekk dafa am nu moo demee so Gambians dañ war a change suñ jikko ji lii is a very important message na leen ñu change suñ jikko yi ñu wàññee ñu li fi ñu seet ne lii démocratie la boo xam ne Adama dafa pare pour mu dox te ñim ko séexal itam lu ñu ko gom lañ waaye nag lu nekk dafa am fu mu àppa
Thank you, Fatou. I think the show today was very important.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the reason why I'm saying that, the lives and livelihoods of Gambians depend highly on trade, meaning what kind of arrangements we have, the phytosanitary arrangements that they have to make sure that good stuff comes to the country as it relates to our food chain. That's one. She spoke about the SRT and the ETLS. I think these are issues that the government need to work on more. In terms of our bilateral ties with our immediate neighbor, we have had several I won't call them skirmishes, but misunderstanding as it relates to trade and the way they handle Gambian issues in terms of our mutual trade relations. So it was good that we spoke about that. I think this is one of the best outings I've seen with a minister on this platform. But equally, I want to send a message to the government by way of the honorable lady who is sitting here. The government of the Gambia is privileged to have a population that bankroll the change that we are all collectively enjoying. We are all in the same boat. So if we poke a hole on their side of the boat, sooner or later that boat will sink and we will all perish. Therefore, we are partners in development and partners in transforming this country. And no government official should see themselves as someone higher and above the law, not to come to a platform to talk. That's one. Two, Fatou, and this is very, very important. It's a privilege to be a minister. It's a privilege to serve the nation. And it's not a right. But lastly, I hope also in terms of the reforms that you guys are coming up will sensitize senior government officials to know that information is to be shared. It's called public information, so long as it's for the interest of the greater good. You're at least accessible and someone can knock your door at a moment's notice and you open.
Always.
This is a rarity. And this is why people like me are saying we want reforms, and the reforms, for them to be instituted, we need agents, change agents and change champions. Why? We have seen that we have booted out Jammeh. All well and good. But there are vestiges of Jammeh behavior still in Gambia, not at the autocratic level, the lackadaisic and the indifference and the discretion. We don't want a government based on discretion. We don't want people to be indifferent to work. We want people, you know that you want to be a public servant. This is the pay scale. You either accept it and work wholly and solely for the interest of the state, or get out. And that's why we are saying that take some of the vestiges, the last pieces of Jammeh out of our sight. We see them in our public administration and it makes us irate. And this is a message I want you to convey to the highest office, especially the Secretary General, that Gambians cannot wait any longer for civil service reform, because some people, the more we see them in our system, the more we think of the past and we are asking what has changed. And that's the change we want. Let's move away from Jammeh, move away from his labels. They are labels. These people are labels on our brand. We don't want to see them. And it's not because we hate them. It's not that they remind us of Jammeh. We know that they're powerful enough to influence. And this is the reason you're getting your letters leaked.
Yep.
This is what we want to see change. This government is our government. We the people. We bankroll you. Your guarantor is we the people. You derive power from us. And we appreciate what you're doing. But equally, we want it to be a two-way dialogue that when we talk, we're not against, but we want it better. That's why we're talking. And we will continue to talk because we're a vested party to what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to engaging constructively with you on many times. But just a little bit of advice is that I understand the message is very clear and it shall be shared. Already, it is already shared. But I'm also an advocate for the change, and I can get the feeling that you have. We all have it, but we must also develop the sense of responsibility and maturity in addressing issues of reform. When you want to reform, you don't just go out and say this is what it is. It should be based on due diligence and procedures. So let calm a bit. Let us all calm each other. Let us follow the due diligence. When we were starting the National Development Plan, there were a lot of talks being had, but we finally came with the product. We finally were able to go, and we finally are able to get what we want. So the remaining things will unfold. I can assure you of that, and I want to tell you that we are together in it, and you are in a democratic dispensation that requires the respect for the fundamental freedoms, the liberty of the people, and the rights of the people, and follow them until they are proven guilty or not.
Wow.
That's what we have to do. And you can be assured that this government of His Excellency President Adama Barrow is guaranteeing that for every Gambian. But it is reciprocal. We expect you also to understand that we are faced with challenges and we are doing the utmost we can to do it, and together.
Thank you.
We can.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you. I think this is one of the best shows. Good night to you all. And thank you very much, Dr. Isatou Touray. Thank you.